Chapter 2687. Lin Feng was puzzled. Who was that woman? Why was she standing there? She looked at him, and the aura emanating from her body was terrifying. Lin Feng even suspected that she would soon charge over and fight him. However, as far as he could remember, he had never seen such a woman before. This woman was extremely beautiful. She had a perfect figure and a perfect face. The sudden appearance of such a peerless beauty did not excite Lin Feng. Instead, he was filled with doubts. The woman quickly turned around and walked into the distance. Lin Feng suddenly realized that the woman seemed to have disappeared from the world. He carefully sensed her, and found that she was no longer in this world. However, when Lin Feng looked ahead, she was clearly there. What's going on? Could it be that the woman was a brand? She's not a real person? Lin Feng couldn't help but mutter. He thought of a certain possibility. There were many images imprinted in the world. Was it possible that the woman was an image left behind by the immortal path to heaven? Perhaps there had been such a woman walking on the immortal path to heaven in the past, but that was a matter of the past. It wasn't a matter of the present. Lin Feng stroked his chin. He felt that there might be such a possibility. He followed behind the woman and continued to walk into the depths of the immortal path to heaven. That figure, that face. She's really the best of the best. Lin Feng followed behind the woman, quietly admiring her beauty. It was a kind of beauty that would make one gasp in amazement. Anyone who saw it would be shocked by this woman's peerless beauty. They would sigh at how such a beautiful woman could exist in this world. Where did she come from? Lin Feng muttered to himself. In the past, such a beautiful woman had come to the immortal path to heaven. Now, he was walking the same path she had walked. The woman's identity was a mystery. Lin Feng was destined to find it difficult to find out her identity, because they were not from the same space. Perhaps this woman was currently cultivating in her own world. Who knows, she might have died a long time ago. Whoosh! Suddenly, the woman's speed increased a lot as she rushed forward. Lin Feng followed closely behind. Not long after, Lin Feng saw a majestic palace in front of him. There was a winding path on the immortal path that connected to this majestic palace. It seemed to be an immortal palace, surrounded by immortal qi. The palace was built magnificently. It seemed to be a palace where immortals used to live. The woman walked along the winding path towards the immortal palace. Lin Feng was pleasantly surprised and quickly chased after her. He also wanted to follow that woman into the immortal palace. Perhaps he would be able to obtain some unimaginable items. However, Lin Feng was soon disappointed. When he arrived at the location of the winding path had actually disappeared. Am I not fated with this opportunity? Lin Feng couldn't help but frown slightly. However, he soon thought that this might not be a fortuitous encounter, because he guessed that everything before his eyes was a scene that had been imprinted in the past. Since it was a scene imprinted on the immortal path to heaven, naturally it couldn't be considered a fortuitous encounter. Dong! A Dao sound came from the immortal palace. The woman soared into the sky and flew towards the immortal palace. She was truly too beautiful. She was as holy and otherworldly as a fairy. Such a woman really made one's heart palpitate. After the woman entered the immortal palace, the immortal palace's shape completely disappeared. Lin Feng could no longer see the immortal palace. Why did this woman's image appear? It's really strange. Lin Feng couldn't help but mutter to himself. He felt that this matter was somewhat strange. However, he couldn't tell what was wrong. He collected his thoughts and continued to walk upwards. There were quite a lot of cultivators outside the immortal path to heaven. However, there were very few cultivators on the immortal path to heaven. For several days, Lin Feng didn't see any other cultivators. He also didn't obtain any fortuitous encounters. It's said that there are countless fortuitous encounters on the immortal path to heaven, but I haven't discovered anything yet. Could it be that I'm not fated to be on the immortal path to heaven? Lin Feng couldn't help but think gloomily. He didn't give up. Instead, he continued to walk on the immortal path to heaven. Not long after, Lin Feng heard the sound of Dao. The sound of Tao rose in spirals and resounded between heaven and earth. It shook the clouds. After an unknown period of time, Lin Feng suddenly heard a burst of immortal spirit sound entering his ears. Everyone says that immortals are good. Everyone wants to know about longevity. The voice was fleeting. It was impossible to tell whether it was a man or a woman. Lin Feng stood in place and listened carefully to the voice. A day in the immortal cave is 60 years in the outside world. The immortal cave can lead to longevity. The mortal world has more than 3,000 worries. Who doesn't want to become an immortal? Everyone wants to have an immortal body. The voices resounded in his mind. Lin Feng closed his eyes and walked forward step by step. He didn't know how many steps he took. He stopped and looked ahead. He saw a huge dojo in front of him. The dojo was like a huge 8 trigrams. In front of the dojo was a huge stone tablet. There were 4 words written on the tablet. Immortal Dojo. Lin Feng walked toward the dojo and came to the side of the stone tablet. The stone tablet was very old. It was densely covered with runes. Lin Feng was shocked. This stone tablet was a supreme treasure. He tried to grab the stone tablet and shake it. However, after a few attempts, the stone tablet seemed to have disappeared. He failed every time. The stone tablet was very special. It couldn't be shaken at all. This is a treasure. It's a pity that I can't take it. What a pity! Lin Feng smacked his lips and said. Then, Lin Feng stepped onto the dojo. The dojo was emitting an aura of Tao. Moreover, the aura of Tao was extremely dense. As expected of a mysterious dojo, it was no small matter. I wonder who left this dojo behind? Lin Feng couldn't help but mutter to himself. He walked alone on the dojo. Finally, he sat down cross-legged. He comprehended the Tao of this place. After an unknown amount of time, Lin Feng felt that he appeared in a vast starry world. He sat cross-legged. Below him was a huge 8 trigrams. In front of Lin Feng, a man also sat cross-legged. It was a man wearing a Taoist robe. He seemed to be the embodiment of this starry world. When Lin Feng saw the man, he was very surprised. He was comprehending the Tao in the dojo, and he actually saw this mysterious man. Who was this man? Chapter 2688. Where did the 8 trigrams originate from? The man asked. Lin Feng didn't know why the man would ask him such a question. He thought for a moment, then said, I heard that sage Emperor Fuxi created the 8 trigrams based on the laws of the world. It was indeed created by sage Emperor Fuxi. However, do you know how sage Emperor Fuxi created the 8 trigrams? Lin Feng shook his head. As for how sage Emperor Fuxi created the 8 trigrams, that was something from countless years ago. It wasn't something that could be explored now. At that moment, the man waved his right hand lightly. Swish! Divine light flickered slightly. In an instant, Lin Feng discovered that the scene before him had changed. He had arrived in an ancient world. In this ancient world, there were torrential storms, lightning, mountain floods, rivers bursting their banks, lightning flashing, tsunamis roaring, the sky collapsing, the earth sinking, all sorts of disasters were occurring. It was like the end of the world. It was terrifying to the extreme. Seeing this scene, Lin Feng couldn't help but suck in a breath of cold air. The world was being destroyed. Lin Feng couldn't help but ask, could this be the scene of the Apocalypse War? The man said, of course not. The scene before you can't compare to the Apocalypse War. This scene before you is the beginning of the universe, when the myriad worlds first appeared. The laws of order were still imperfect, which is why such a scene occurred. There are disasters everywhere, and it's extremely terrifying. It makes one feel despair. So that's how it is. Lin Feng nodded. This was the beginning of an epoch, while the Apocalypse War was the end of an epoch. There was a huge difference between the two. The man continued, it was under such circumstances that sage Emperor Fuxi created the 8 trigrams. This is what we call the innate 8 trigrams. Xian as heaven, Kun as earth, Jin as thunder, Sun as wind, Ken as water, Li as fire, Gen as mountain, and Dui as lake. In the beginning, the innate 8 trigrams symbolize the 8 natural phenomena of heaven, earth, thunder, wind, water, fire, mountain, and lake. This was the foundation of Sage Emperor Fushi's creation of the 8 trigrams. Sage Emperor Fushi used the innate 8 trigrams to predict the changes in heaven and earth. He believed that the interaction of yin and yang was the origin of all things. The Qian and Kuan trigrams were especially important in the 8 trigrams. Taiji and the 8 trigrams combined to form the Taiji 8 trigrams, which was later used by Taoists. Taoists believed that the Taiji 8 trigrams had great divine powers to suppress the evil. Therefore, after Emperor Fushi created the 8 trigrams, he used them in many different ways. Back in the days, the 8 trigrams played a key role in stabilizing the order of the universe. The 8 trigrams stabilized the strength of each world, and at that time, the order of the universe was constantly improving. In the end, many worlds were truly formed. Lin Feng admired Holy Emperor Fushi even more. He created the innate 8 trigrams to benefit the future generations. Actually, Lin Feng had also studied the 8 trigrams. The Celestial Teacher's branch had taught him about the 8 trigrams. However, the legacy of the Celestial Masters wasn't the core of Fushi's Khanate 8 trigrams. There were many kinds of 8 trigrams in the future. It was not an exaggeration to say that they were as vast as the sea. But among these inheritances, it was impossible to find the core inheritance of Fushi's innate 8 trigrams. It had long been buried in the river of history. Fushi's innate 8 trigrams were heaven-defying enough to predict many things in the future. Sage Emperor Fushi had died tragically. It was also related to the innate 8 trigrams. The man said, Sage Emperor Fushi created the 8 trigrams for the future and saved this era from turmoil. Who knows how many lives he saved? Unfortunately, Sage Emperor Fushi made others jealous and killed him. Lin Feng asked. Who killed Sage Emperor Fushi? The man said. It's not suitable for you to know this now. Lin Feng sighed. It seemed that the man felt that his cultivation was not enough. If he told him, he would probably be killed. Is the Tao contained in this place Sage Emperor Fushi's core inheritance? Lin Feng asked. He could not help but become excited. If he could obtain Sage Emperor Fushi's core inheritance, it would be terrifying. The core of the innate 8 trigrams was a divination technique. He could divine anything he wanted. At that time, he could divine where there were fortuitous opportunities and immortal artifacts. He could just go there and search. The man looked at Lin Feng with a faint smile and said, Do you really want to obtain Sage Emperor Fushi's core inheritance? Yes, of course. The innate 8 trigrams created by Sage Emperor Fushi is one of the greatest achievements in the history of the human race. If such a powerful inheritance were to be lost, those who heard it would be sad and those who heard it would cry. As a human cultivator, it is our duty to bring Sage Emperor Fushi's inheritance to greater heights. It is something we should strive to accomplish for the rest of our lives, said Lin Feng with a strong sense of righteousness. The man rolled his eyes when he heard Lin Feng's words. Lin Feng did not know what kind of existence this man was. He had originally thought that he was a divine sense branded in the dojo. But now it seemed that he was not that simple. Sage Emperor Fushi's core inheritance is not here. Perhaps it is somewhere in the heaven realm, the man said. Hearing this, Lin Feng felt as if he had been struck by lightning. He was full of enthusiasm. It turned into nothingness. He smiled bitterly and said, So this place is not Sage Emperor Fushi's inheritance? It is Sage Emperor Fushi's inheritance, but it is not the core inheritance, the man said. Then what kind of inheritance is it? Lin Feng couldn't help but ask. Just as Lin Feng was entering a state of enlightenment, 5 cultivators quickly flew over from afar. The 5 cultivators were very young, but each of them was extremely powerful. They were led by a man in a long golden robe. Look, it's a dojo. One of the cultivators pointed at the dojo. It really is a dojo. There is someone in the dojo. It seems that he is in a state of enlightenment. Another cultivator exclaimed in shock. Dojo of Immortals, this name is quite interesting. That kid is in a state of enlightenment. He doesn't even have any companions. Let's kill him and take his soul, memories, and treasures. The third cultivator said coldly. That kid is unlucky to run into us. The fourth cultivator sneered. With a flash of light, Lin Feng transformed into his human form. He asked, Senior, what do you think of the might of my yin-yang 8 trigrams diagram? With yin and yang as the center, the 8 trigrams suppress the 8 directions. The power of this yin-yang 8 trigrams diagram is indeed very strong, but after all, it is a combination of 2 divine abilities. Although its power is strong, it is still very weak. But there's one wonderful thing. You've used the great yin-yang art in this combined divine sense. If you succeed in cultivating the Taiji yin-yang image, you can also integrate the great yin-yang art into the Taiji yin-yang image and guard the 2 poles of the Taiji yin-yang image. In this way, the power of the Taiji yin-yang image will be greatly enhanced. Lin Feng nodded and said, All right, I can give it a try when the time comes. As the saying goes, Taiji gives birth to yin and yang. Yin and yang give birth to the 4 symbols, and the 4 symbols give birth to the 8 trigrams. The evolution of all things in this world follows a pattern. Taiji is 1, and yin and yang are 2. Thus, yin and yang are what we call yin and yang. Yin and yang happen to guard the yang and yin extremes of Taiji, and the great yin-yang art is the foundation of the great Tao of yin and yang. It is definitely the most perfect combination. The man continued to explain. Lin Feng pondered the man's words. The man's words contained a lot of the great Tao of heaven and earth. Lin Feng suddenly felt enlightened. At that moment, the man continued. The second type of inheritance is the great 8 trigrams art of the 3,000 great ways. The great 8 trigrams art is the foundation of the 8 trigrams art. It's like building a house with the great 8 trigrams art as the foundation. Cultivating the great 8 trigrams art is equivalent to laying the foundation. If you don't cultivate the great 8 trigrams art, it's like a house without a foundation. Of course, the most important thing is that after practicing the great 8 trigrams art, when you go to the heaven realm in the future, you might be able to sense where Saint Emperor Fushi's core inheritance is. At that time, you might be able to rely on the great 8 trigrams art to find Saint Emperor Fushi's core inheritance. At that time, you will be able to obtain the heaven-defying techniques that Saint Emperor Fushi had mastered. Lin Feng's eyes couldn't help but reveal a burning gaze. Whether it was the Taiji yin-yang diagram or the great 8 trigrams art, they were all too important. Of course, the prerequisite was that he could comprehend the Tao of this place. Although this place contained the cultivation method of the Taiji yin-yang diagram and the great 8 trigrams art. But if he couldn't comprehend it, then everything would be for naught. Lin Feng wanted to ask some other questions in detail, but he found that the man had disappeared. Who is he? Lin Feng couldn't help but mutter to himself. The man's identity was very mysterious, and he didn't know who he was. However, Lin Feng felt that the man might be related to the Holy Emperor Fushi. Could he be the descendant of the Holy Emperor Fushi? Or the successor of the Holy Emperor Fushi? As for who he was, Lin Feng didn't know. These were all his guesses. Lin Feng began to comprehend the Tao of this place. This was because Lin Feng had already cultivated the 8 trigrams art passed down by the Heavenly Master's lineage. In addition, he had created the yin-yang 8 trigrams art. Therefore, it wasn't particularly difficult to comprehend the great 8 trigrams art and the Taiji yin-yang diagram. This was because Lin Feng's foundation was too good. Everything seemed to flow naturally. After comprehending for 2 days, Lin Feng had successfully comprehended the 2 divine arts. He opened his eyes, and his face lit up with joy. These were 2 extremely important divine arts. Now, it could be considered as a great opportunity. Crack, crack. The Tao platform of the immortal Tao Plaza began to crack. Lin Feng comprehended the Tao of this place. The Tao platform here would self-destruct. The meaning of the cultivator who set up the Tao platform was clear. The Tao here could only be passed down to one person. Once someone obtained the Tao here, the Dao platform would be destroyed. No one else would be able to obtain the Dao here. Lin Feng quickly left the Dao platform and headed for the heavenly immortal path. He had just returned to the heavenly immortal path. Boom, 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 boom! A terrifying chi filled the air as 4 silhouettes appeared and threw themselves at Lin Feng. Chapter 2690. These 4 people were 4 of the 5 people who were hiding here just now. The leading golden-robed man didn't attack. Perhaps he didn't want to, so he didn't attack. Of course, the 4 cultivators who attacked were strong enough. The green-robed cultivator condensed the shadow of a demonic mountain and rushed toward Lin Feng. The purple-robed cultivator's fist was surrounded by dazzling holy light. It turned into a fist light and blasted toward Lin Feng. The cultivator in white clothes released an incredible amount of sword chi. Lin Feng didn't know how many sword chi there were. He wanted to crush Lin Feng's body into pieces. The blue-clothed cultivator condensed the shadow of an evil god of hell. The evil god of hell looked like an evil god that had walked out from the world of hell. It was abnormally terrifying. The 4 cultivators' attacks were too strong. At that moment, Lin Feng felt a thick aura of death envelop him. Heaven patching technique! Before the 4 cultivators' attacks hit him, Lin Feng used the heaven patching technique and disappeared without a trace. The attacks of the 4 powerhouses hit nothing but air. Lin Feng appeared 100 meters away and looked at the 5 people who appeared on the heavenly path with a gloomy expression. These 5 people were really powerful. They had hidden themselves so quietly that even he could not detect their auras. 4 of them attacked just now. The golden-robed cultivator didn't attack. Was it because he didn't want to? Lin Feng couldn't help but feel a chill in his heart. Huh! This kid has some tricks up his sleeve. The faces of the 4 powerhouses all revealed a rather shocked expression, as if they couldn't believe their own eyes. The 4 of them attacked together, but they couldn't kill Lin Feng, a low-level cultivator. This made them very surprised. In addition to surprise, they felt angry and humiliated. As far as they were concerned, killing Lin Feng would be a piece of cake for them. However, what happened was completely different from what they had imagined. It was hard for them to accept. They couldn't accept it because they didn't take Lin Feng seriously at all. If the person they were besieging was a top-notch expert in their eyes, and if the other party managed to dodge that terrifying attack, these people would feel that everything was a matter of course. Which scoundrel dares to launch a sneak attack on this young master? Judging from your treacherous and despicable appearance, I know that you people only know how to play dirty tricks behind my back. Lin Feng looked at the 5 people mockingly. Brat, what did you say? The faces of the 5 cultivators instantly turned gloomy. They were of noble birth. Everyone had an extremely arrogant personality. Now, Lin Feng actually called him a scoundrel and a treacherous villain. How could these cultivators not be angry? Now, the 5 of them were furious, and their eyes were filled with killing intent. If looks could kill, Lin Feng would have been cut into 1,000 pieces by their cold gazes. Lin Feng said faintly. What? Could it be that I'm wrong? Guys who only know how to launch sneak attacks aren't worth mentioning at all. For people like you, this young master can kill you with just a flick of his finger. Reckless fool, I'll take your life within 3 moves. The blue-clothed young master's expression was indifferent, and his eyes flashed with killing intent. He took a step forwards and threw a punch at Lin Feng. The other 4 people looked at Lin Feng indifferently. They seemed to be full of confidence in the blue-clothed young master. When the young man in blue threw a punch, the image of a sky full of mountains and rivers appeared on his fist. This move was called the Heavenly Mountain River Fist. With one punch, the mountains and rivers in the heavens were all shattered. Its power could be described as peerless and terrifying. Feeling the blue-clothed cultivator's attack, Lin Feng couldn't help but be shocked. This blue-clothed young master's cultivation was so powerful. If it was a one-on-one fight, Lin Feng felt that if he didn't use his trump card, he wouldn't be a match for the blue-clothed cultivator at all. Facing the blue-clothed young master's attack, Lin Feng didn't move at all. He didn't even lift his eyelids. What the hell is that kid doing? The other four people couldn't help but frown slightly. They naturally didn't think that Lin Feng was scared out of his wits. How could he still have such thoughts after cultivating to this realm? Be careful! The purple-clothed young master couldn't help but remind. The blue-clothed young master said confidently, Don't worry, dealing with a lowly cultivator from the lower realm is simply a piece of cake. The other four people thought about it, and felt that it made sense. They looked at Lin Feng with interest. They were all looking at him with a teasing gaze. People from the heaven realm? Hearing the blue-clothed young master's words, Lin Feng finally moved. He couldn't help but raise his eyebrows slightly. Lin Feng, this blue-clothed cultivator, used the words lowly cultivator from the lower realm to describe himself. Generally, only cultivators from the heaven realm would use lower realm to refer to cultivators from other worlds. Therefore, these 5 people should be cultivators from the heaven realm. No wonder their strength was so terrifying. It turned out that they were cultivators from the heaven realm. This could be explained. Kid, go to hell! The blue-clothed cultivator's mouth curled up into a sinister expression. That tyrannical punch was about to land on Lin Feng's body. At this moment, a light flashed in Lin Feng's hand and the stone sword appeared in his hand. Lin Feng held the stone sword with both hands and slashed at the blue-clothed cultivator. The reason why he had been standing still earlier was to numb the blue-clothed cultivator. When the blue-clothed cultivator's attack was about to land on his body, he would take out the stone sword to deal with the blue-clothed cultivator. At this moment, the distance was too close. Even if the blue-clothed cultivator had a powerful magic treasure on him, it was too late to take it out. Feeling the power emitted from the stone sword, the blue-clothed cultivator's expression changed greatly. He wanted to retreat, but it was already too late. A slashing sound was heard. The blue-clothed cultivator's arm was directly chopped off by Lin Feng. Ah! The blue-clothed cultivator let out a mournful scream. No matter how hard a fist was, it was still afraid of a kitchen knife. Although the blue-clothed young master's attack was tyrannical, it was still unable to contend against the stone sword's attack. After chopping off the blue-clothed cultivator's arm, Lin Feng waved the stone sword and slashed towards the blue-clothed cultivator's head. Kid, you dare? The other 4 people couldn't help but roar as they all charged towards Lin Feng. Why wouldn't I dare? Said Lin Feng while smiling coldly. His sword was moving towards Lin Feng's direction. A slashing sound was heard. The blue-clothed cultivator's head was directly chopped off by Lin Feng. The stone sword shattered the blue-clothed cultivator's soul. The blue-clothed cultivator's soul scattered. At the same time, Lin Feng quickly retreated. Boom, 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 boom! The attacks of the 4 experts immediately hit the air. Little bastard, you're courting death. You're courting death. Today, we'll definitely tear you into pieces. The 4 cultivators' eyes were twinkling with killing intent. They were looking at Lin Feng with killing intent. Boom! The 4 strong cultivators moved towards Lin Feng. The 4 experts were each more terrifying than the other, but the one that made Lin Feng feel fear was the golden-clothed cultivator. Chapter 2691. Previously, the only heaven realm cultivator that Lin Feng came into contact with was Inkyre. Inkyre's cultivation could be described as unfathomable. If he hadn't teamed up with the Fire Luan to deal with Inkyre, it was very likely that he wouldn't have been able to defeat her. Of course, Inkyre was eaten clean by Lin Feng later on. He believed that Inkyre would never forget what happened back then, right? Now, among the 4 great experts, Lin Feng felt that the golden-clothed man's cultivation was the closest to Inkyre's. The other 3 were slightly weaker. But that was only relative. In fact, the other 3's cultivation was also abnormally terrifying. Now that the blue-clothed man was killed by Lin Feng, the 4 of them were completely furious. Their killing intent soared to the sky, as if they wanted to tear Lin Feng into pieces. Facing the attacks of the 4, Lin Feng's expression was indifferent. He knew that the situation was very bad, but Lin Feng wasn't worried. He controlled the stone sword and wasn't afraid of these people at all. When the 4 great experts attacked. Epic hegemony! White tiger hegemony! Supreme hegemony. The 3 types of hegemony were released at the same time, forming a magnetic field. The 4 great experts were all enveloped by the magnetic field. Their bodies were almost imprisoned, and their speed was greatly reduced. It's hegemony. The golden-clothed man's expression suddenly changed. This person was indeed the strongest among the 4. He immediately chose to retreat. Under the intimidation of Lin Feng's 3 types of hegemony, the golden-clothed man was actually able to dissolve the oppression of the hegemony. It could be seen how terrifying this golden-clothed man was. The expressions of the other 3 changed greatly. Their cultivation couldn't be compared to the golden-clothed man. Thus, it was difficult for them to escape the intimidation of the hegemony. Although they tried their best to retreat, their speed was extremely slow. Lin Feng arrived in front of the purple-clothed man and slashed down with the stone sword. Pooh! This terrifying sword strike directly beheaded the purple-robed young master. The purple-clothed man died. Then, Lin Feng walked towards the white-clothed man with his sword. We're from a big clan in the celestial world. If you dare kill us, you better think about the consequences. The white-clothed man cried out in horror. Then, he began to threaten Lin Feng. He wanted to use his family's power to intimidate Lin Feng. However, Lin Feng completely ignored the white-clothed man's threat. He sneered and said, I already knew that you were cultivators from the heaven realm. There's no need to repeat myself. Even if you are the son of the heaven master, if you offend this young master, I will still cut you down. Puff! As soon as he finished speaking, he raised his hand and brought his sword down. The white-robed cultivator's head was also cut off. The green-robed cultivator activated a treasure he obtained. It was a flying sword with an ancient and powerful appearance. Clearly, it was a great treasure with an extraordinary origin. After the flying sword was activated, it turned into an afterimage. He quickly rushed towards Lin Feng. He wanted to kill Lin Feng. Lin Feng sneered when he saw the flying sword flying towards him. The speed of the flying sword was very fast. However, his speed was even faster. Lin Feng waved his stone sword and slashed at the flying sword. Clang! With a sonorous collision sound, the flying sword was sent flying by Lin Feng. Then, Lin Feng arrived in front of the green-robed man. He slashed at the green-robed man. No! The green-robed man roared in fear. He originally thought that killing Lin Feng would be a piece of cake, but in the end, all of them died one after another. They were the heaven's favored children of the heaven realm. Now, they actually died at the hands of a lower realm cultivator. Only now did the green-robed cultivator understand the meaning of the sentence. You can't underestimate all the cultivators in the world. Puff! A tearing sound was heard. Lin Feng killed the green-robed man with a single sword strike. However, just as he killed the green-robed man, Lin Feng felt a terrifying aura behind him. The golden-robed man held a war spear in his hand and pierced towards Lin Feng's body. This person's timing could be said to be perfect. It was when Lin Feng killed the green-robed man that the golden-robed man chose to attack. The golden-robed man was abnormally terrifying. Although Lin Feng's domineering aura would cause his speed to plummet. However, he was unable to completely suppress this person. The golden-robed man was now one with his spear. That spear was truly peerless and terrifying. It pierced through heaven and earth. It shattered the heavens. It locked onto Lin Feng. Lin Feng had no way to dodge. Lin Feng quickly condensed a defensive crystal wall to block the golden-robed man's attack. However, the golden-robed man's spear attack was almost his peak attack. The power was simply too tyrannical. It directly pierced through the defensive crystal wall that Lin Feng condensed. Puff! Then, the spear pierced through Lin Feng's body. Ha 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 ha, go to hell! The golden-robed man laughed loudly with a ferocious expression on his face. He wanted to kill Lin Feng in midair. However, Lin Feng grabbed the spear that pierced his body. The golden-robed man was unable to lift Lin Feng up. Lin Feng's other hand waved the stone sword and slashed at the golden-robed man. The golden-robed man's expression sank slightly. He suddenly exerted force with both hands and quickly retreated. He pulled the spear out of Lin Feng's body. A bloody hole appeared on Lin Feng's body. The injury was extremely serious. He had a strong feeling that this person was extremely terrifying. It was just as he had guessed. If it was someone else who took this spear attack of mine, all the meridians in their body would have been broken. They would be crippled by now, but you are fine? The golden-robed man looked at Lin Feng with an indifferent expression. Of course I'm fine. I am an immortal existence, Lin Feng said coldly. He circulated his immortal body and quickly healed his injuries. Oh? You have the immortal body. So you are from this clan. The golden-robed man immediately guessed Lin Feng's identity when he saw that Lin Feng's injuries were healed. It seemed like this person knew something about the Undying clan. After guessing Lin Feng's identity, the killing intent in his eyes intensified. There were a few races in the world, although they were not in the heaven realm. Although they weren't from the heavenly realm was still very wary of those clans. The Undying clan was one of them. Therefore, the golden-robed man wanted to kill Lin Feng. Today, I will let you experience my ultimate technique. The golden-robed man's voice was filled with endless killing intent and coldness. He walked toward Lin Feng step by step. The aura in his body was getting stronger and stronger. It was a sharp aura that could break the sky. It was emitted from the golden-robed man's body. 360,000 spear attacks! The golden-robed man shouted coldly and stabbed his spear at Lin Feng. Suddenly, something terrifying happened. Countless spear lights appeared around the golden-robed young master. There were a total of 360,000 spears. Each spear light contained a terrifying power that could pierce through heaven and earth. Chapter 2692. This move of 360,000 spears was really powerful. It made Lin Feng feel as if he was in a sea of spears. This person's cultivation was really terrifying. Of course, Lin Feng wouldn't sit still and wait for death. Facing the 360,000 spears, he used 3 types of haki with all his strength. He neutralized the 360,000 spears. The haki was indeed powerful. The 360,000 spears were directly blocked by the haki. It's useless. Although the haki is powerful, it's not invincible. The golden-clothed young master's voice was cold. He held the war spear in his right hand and suddenly shook it. Suddenly, spear light surged out. Another 360,000 spears shot out. The power was really too tyrannical. Epic haki still neutralized the golden-clothed young master's attack this time. However, what shocked Lin Feng was that the golden-clothed young master was constantly attacking. Each spear could condense 360,000 spears. This person's magic power was too majestic. Although this divine ability consumed a lot of magic power, he was still quite relaxed. It could be seen how powerful this golden-clothed young master's magic power was. Although the 360,000 spears were neutralized by Lin Feng's haki time and time again. However, under the repeated attacks, the domineering aura was gradually broken. This was like a treasure with amazing defense that could neutralize hundreds of thousands of attacks from powerful magic treasures. However, in reality, the power interacted and cancelled each other out. Every time the magic treasure's attack was neutralized, the defensive magic treasure would be damaged a little. In the end, it would still be destroyed. It was just a matter of time. Lin Feng's haki was the same. The golden-clothed young master's attack was too fierce. 360,000 spears continued to bombard. Each attack was stronger and fiercer than the last. Lin Feng couldn't help but be shocked. This definitely couldn't go on. Lin Feng was also very clear about this. He had to quickly think of a way to neutralize the golden-clothed young master's attack. Otherwise, once the haki was broken, the situation would be dangerous. Now, the golden-clothed young master's attack was suppressing Lin Feng so much that he had no chance to counterattack. However, Lin Feng was not without a way to deal with the golden-clothed young master. He was channeling the great curse art. As long as the Great Curse technique could be used successfully, the golden-clothed young master's attack would be interrupted. Lin Feng continued to use the Great Curse technique. Even after using it a dozen times, he was still unable to injure the golden-clothed young master. Although the Great Curse art was powerful, it wasn't able to injure the opponent every time it was used. The success rate was actually very low. Crack, crack. The magnetic field formed by the hockey continued to crack. It wouldn't be long before the hockey was completely torn apart. The golden-robed young master had already unleashed 379 consecutive spear strikes. However, this person still did not show any signs of fatigue, which made Lin Feng extremely shocked. Wasn't this golden-robed young master's magic power a little too boundless? Could it be that this guy has already broken through to the quasi-emperor realm? Lin Feng thought of a possibility. It was impossible for a giant god realm cultivator to possess such boundless magic power. Unless he was a quasi-emperor. No wonder the golden-robed young master was able to suppress him to the point where he was unable to retaliate. The golden-robed young master was a top-notch prodigy. Even when he was at a lower level, he could challenge those who were at a higher level than him. Now, he had broken through to the quasi-emperor realm. Who knew how terrifying his cultivation base was? Lin Feng could challenge those who were at a higher level than him, and so could the golden-robed young master. Therefore, Lin Feng's ability to challenge those who were at a higher level than him was not so obvious when facing the golden-robed young master. However, the golden-robed young master's cultivation base was much higher than Lin Feng's. The giant god realm and the quasi-emperor realm were two major realms. There were many smaller realms in between. No wonder Lin Feng was suppressed so badly. Lin Feng guessed that the reason why the Great Curse art had not been successfully used more than 10 times in a row was because the golden-robed young master's cultivation base was too strong. The higher the cultivation base of the target of the Great Curse art, then, the chances of the Great Curse art successfully injuring the opponent would be lower. Kid, you can't escape the fate of death. The golden-robed young master's face was filled with dense killing intent. In his opinion, Lin Feng would definitely die this time. Lin Feng's expression was indifferent. He ignored the golden-robed young master. He was still constantly using the Great Curse art to attack the golden-robed young master. Crack, crack. The magnetic field formed by the domineering aura was almost completely broken. The golden-robed young master's eyes suddenly lit up. That peerless and terrifying spear pierced through again. The power was even stronger than before. The dense spear light pierced towards Lin Feng. This attack would definitely destroy the magnetic field formed by the domineering aura. Such a terrifying attack might be able to kill Lin Feng. At this extremely dangerous moment. Suddenly. Puff! A piercing sound was heard. The golden-robed young master's chest was directly pierced through, leaving a bloody hole. The golden-robed young master's attack was immediately interrupted. At this critical moment, Lin Feng successfully used the Great Curse art to severely injure the golden-robed young master. Lin Feng was so excited that tears streamed down his face. It was really too timely. If he had failed again just now, the one who would be severely injured or even killed at this moment would be him. Those 4 people are waiting for you on the road to hell. Die together! Lin Feng coldly shouted and quickly rushed towards the golden-robed young master. His peerless sword slashed towards the golden-robed young master. The golden-robed young master didn't have the immortal divine body. Naturally, he couldn't recover as quickly as Lin Feng. Therefore, at this moment, after his chest was pierced through, his battle strength was greatly reduced. The golden-robed young master felt an endless sense of weakness sweeping through his body. He knew. At this moment, it wasn't suitable to continue fighting with Lin Feng. He could either end the battle quickly and kill Lin Feng, or he could escape and find a place to heal. The golden-robed young master's pride didn't allow him to choose to escape. Instead, he chose to stay and fight with Lin Feng again. Gods break the sky! The golden-robed young master coldly shouted. He circulated his magic power and stabbed towards Lin Feng with his spear. This spear actually showed the god's shadow. The power of this spear was really too terrifying. It directly pierced through heaven and earth and stabbed towards Lin Feng. When Lin Feng sensed the terrifying power of that spear, he was dumbstruck. As the saying goes, a centipede dies but never falls down. A ferocious beast on the verge of death was often the most dangerous. He hurriedly placed the stone sword in front of him. Clang! The golden-robed young master's terrifying spear struck the stone sword, and Lin Feng was sent flying. Lin Feng's hand, which was holding the stone sword, cracked from the impact. Blood immediately flowed out. Cough, 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 cough. He coughed violently and directly coughed up a few mouthfuls of blood. The golden-robed young master's attack was so powerful that it made people pale with fright. Damn it! Seeing Lin Feng block his spear, the golden-robed young master's face became incomparably gloomy. That spear just now was almost his strongest spear, but it couldn't kill Lin Feng. The golden-robed young master didn't continue fighting. He suddenly stomped his foot and turned into a golden stream of light, fleeing towards the depths of the immortal path to heaven. Chapter 2693. You won't be able to escape. Lin Feng's expression was cold as he quickly chased after the golden-robed young master. His voice was filled with cold killing intent, and his eyes were filled with endless coldness. The golden-robed young master was already heavily injured, so he had to kill this person. As for the fact that the golden-robed young master came from a great power in the heaven realm, Lin Feng didn't even consider it. Ever since the ancient war, the space-time of the heaven realm and various great worlds had been destroyed. Those great powers in the heaven realm didn't even know who he was. So what if those great powers in the heaven realm could find out who he was through some heaven-defying methods? Could it be that they would still go to the 9 regions? After the space-time domain gate was destroyed, there was only one way for the heaven realm cultivators to go to the 9 regions, and that was to travel through the starry sky. It was unknown how long it would take to travel through the starry sky from the heaven realm to the 9 regions. By the time the heaven realm cultivators arrived at the 9 regions, Lin Feng would have already left. Of course, he didn't know if he could reach the 9 regions. The catastrophe at the end of the ancient era had destroyed the starry sky world, and many starry sky routes had become inaccurate. If the heaven realm cultivators traveled through the starry sky, they might get lost in the starry sky without even seeing the shadow of the 9 regions. They might even die in the starry sky. This was very likely to happen, so Lin Feng wasn't worried about the revenge of the heaven realm cultivators at all. Boy, I'm a cultivator of the Immortal Clan. Do you know the Immortal Clan? If you know, then leave quickly. I won't spread the news that you killed the other 4 people. This is something that will benefit both you and me. What do you think? The golden-robed cultivator asked in a deep voice. Lin Feng naturally knew about the Immortal Clan. In fact, he didn't have a good impression of them. As one of the oldest human powers, the Immortal Clan gradually became one of the most terrifying powers in the heaven realm after arriving in the heaven realm. They even gradually took control of the heaven realm. But at this time, what did the Immortal Clan do? This clan actually didn't admit that they were a branch of the human clan. They broke away from the human clan. Moreover, they defined the human clan as a lowly race with the celestial clan and a few other ancient races. Now that he thought about the wicked things the Immortal Clan did, Lin Feng felt angry. So you're from the Immortal Clan? No wonder you're so high and mighty, disregarding the lives of others. When you kill others, have you ever imagined the scene of you being killed? Lin Feng said with an indifferent expression. He had no intention of letting the golden-clothed young master go. So what if they were immortals? This young master will kill him without hesitation. Whoosh! Lin Feng stepped on the 8-directional world, and his speed continued to increase. Do you really want to fight me to the death? Endless killing intent burst out from the golden-robed young master's eyes. He had never felt so aggrieved before, being chased all the way. Yet, he had no ability to resist. This feeling was extremely terrible, and it made him feel endless humiliation. He even wanted to stop and fight to the death with Lin Feng. Even if he died, he would drag Lin Feng down with him. However, reason still prevailed over the impulse in his heart. Only by staying alive would he be able to wash away his shame. The golden-robed young master comforted himself. You're quite self-aware. You know that you're a small fish about to be killed. However, the net won't break even if the fish dies. Lin Feng mocked. You dare call me a small fish? The golden-robed young master glared furiously at Lin Feng. You're the one who said we'll fight to the death. You're the one who said you're a fish, and now you're blaming me? Lin Feng said indifferently. The golden-robed young master was speechless. That was just an adjective, okay. He realized that he had no way of communicating with Lin Feng. If he continued, the golden-robed young master suspected that he would die from anger. He increased his speed and fled deeper into the heavenly path. The golden-robed young master hoped to see celestial cultivators so that they could help deal with Lin Feng. However, even after fleeing for a long time, he still didn't see any celestial cultivators. The golden-robed young master's injuries were getting worse, and it was obvious that he wouldn't be able to hold on much longer. The distance between him and Lin Feng was getting shorter and shorter. Are you ready to die? Lin Feng sneered, his eyes flashing with killing intent. The golden-robed young master remained silent with a gloomy expression. At that moment, he saw a mountain range appear in front of him. The golden-robed young master quickly rushed toward the mountain range that connected the heavenly path. Lin Feng chased after him into the mountain range. The mountain range was huge, covering an area of 50 to 60 miles. The forest was dense. Tigers roared and apes cried. Fierce beasts could be seen everywhere. Lin Feng caught up to the golden-robed young master in the forest and slashed at him with his sword. The golden-robed young master brandished his battle spear to block. Clang! 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 The golden-robed young master was sent flying. Wah! The golden-robed young master coughed up a mouthful of blood, his face turning as pale as paper. He was now injured on top of his previous injuries. The situation didn't look good for him. The scenery here is beautiful. It'll be a good place to bury you. Lin Feng's expression was indifferent as he charged at the golden-robed young master again. Raging waves! The golden-robed young master roared angrily. Monstrous waves appeared under his feet. He stood on top of the waves and charged at Lin Feng. The golden-robed young master's spear technique was really powerful. This spear technique was even more powerful than the 360,000 spears from before and the divine ability gods break the heavens. Blade storm! Lin Feng shouted coldly. He slashed out with his sword. Suddenly, with him as the center, a storm swept through heaven and earth. If one looked carefully, within the storm, there was actually an endless amount of sword chi. The moment the blade storm was unleashed, its power was enough to destroy heaven and earth. Bang! The two of them immediately collided, and the powerful energy shockwaves destroyed the surrounding forest. What happened? There were many cultivators in the mountain range looking for opportunities. Now they were all alarmed. Those cultivators rushed into the sky. There are cultivators fighting. The cultivators in the mountain range looked at Lin Feng and the golden-robed young master in shock. They quickly rushed in the direction of the battle. More than 100 cultivators hurried over. Lin Feng had been in the heavenly path for a while, but this was the first time he saw so many cultivators. These cultivators were all people with great fortune. Their cultivation bases were extremely tyrannical. Perhaps there would be a few among them who would become the overlords of the universe in the future. Isn't that Helion Yunao of the Celestial Realm's immortal tribe? He's injured, and his injuries seem to be serious. Some cultivators recognized the golden-robed young master. He was a top genius of the immortal tribe. His cultivation base was extremely tyrannical. He was also very famous in the heavenly path. Who is that kid? Did he seriously injure Helion Yundao? Then, everyone looked at Lin Feng. They couldn't help but feel deeply shocked. You're really a failure to live to this extent, Lin Feng said with a sneer. He held the stone sword in his hand and once again charged towards Helion Dao. 10,000 swords returned to origin. Lin Feng used his powerful sword Dao Theurgy. 10,000 swords returned to origin was unleashed. Billions of sword chi condensed. The dense sword chi gathered together and merged with Lin Feng, forming a giant sword that cut through the void. Then, he instantly charged towards Hellion Dao. The power of that sword strike was truly too terrifying, causing everyone to be shocked and emotionally moved. 9 godly demonic spears. Hellion Dao's expression was gloomy. He roared and used a new ultimate technique. Boom! A terrifying aura spread out. Behind Hellion Dao, the phantom of a god fiend appeared. That god fiend phantom held a battle spear in his hand. The god fiend and Hellion Dao's body merged into one. Hellion Dao seemed to have transformed into that immortal god fiend. His battle prowess was unparalleled. Hellion Dao stabbed out 9 times in a row. One spear could pierce through heaven and earth. The power of 9 consecutive stabs was simply earth-shattering. The 9 spear lights condensed into one. Clang! The dazzling spear light collided with Lin Feng's 10,000 swords returned to origin. Both sides immediately produced a violent collision sound. Hellion Dao's attack was indeed very powerful, but he was already injured. In addition, after being injured, Hellion Dao had gone through many consecutive battles. At this moment, his battle prowess had dropped greatly. He was already exhausted and found it difficult to resist Lin Feng's attack. Lin Feng's 10,000 swords returned to origin directly broke Hellion Dao's 9 spears god and demon. Then, Lin Feng held the stone sword in his hand and charged towards Hellion Dao. Shatter the mountains and rivers. Seeing Lin Feng charging over, Hellion Dao leaped up. He held the battle spear in his hand with both hands, then swung the battle spear and fiercely smashed it towards Lin Feng. Even the void was shattered by Hellion Dao's attack. This person really had many tricks up his sleeves. Hellion Dao's cultivation is really powerful. His injuries are so serious, but he can still hold on for such a long time. This person can be considered one of the best among the younger generation of the immortal tribe. Naturally, he has many extraordinary tricks up his sleeve. However, I don't think highly of him. His opponent looks very ordinary, but he's hiding his strength very well. Do you see that stone sword? This person actually has a stone artifact. He's very powerful and has a stone artifact. I'm afraid Hellion Dao won't be able to escape death today. Many people whispered to each other. Their eyes were unblinkingly watching the battle on the battlefield. The stone sword in Lin Feng's hand had an extraordinary origin, but those people clearly didn't know the origin of this stone sword. Many people might have heard of the rumors of the 36 stone swords, but there was no lack of treasures like stone swords among the stone artifacts that had been passed down. Therefore, those cultivators didn't think about it at all. The power of Hellion Dao's shattering of mountains and rivers was astonishing. However, it wouldn't be easy to defeat Lin Feng. Lin Feng raised his hand and slashed out with his sword. The stone sword collided with Hellion Dao's battle spear. At this moment, Lin Feng slapped towards Hellion Dao with his palm. Above his palm, endless power of destiny lingered. Hellion Dao also punched towards Lin Feng. Bang! Accompanied by a dull collision sound, the two sides collided fiercely. The power of destiny lingering on Lin Feng's fist instantly broke Hellion Dao's punch. Then, it smashed into Hellion Dao's body and sent him flying. Wah! Hellion Dao couldn't help but spit out a mouthful of blood. His face turned as pale as paper and his body was sent flying. Lin Feng quickly rushed over and waved the stone sword in his hand towards Hellion Dao. I'm not willing to accept this. Hellion Dao roared and held his battle spear, wanting to counterattack. He was the pride of the heaven realm. He was the successor of the immortal race. He had the noblest bloodline in the world. He wasn't willing to die here like this. But everything could no longer be reversed. Lin Feng's attack was too fast. A peerless sword slashed out. Poochie! A tearing sound was heard. Hellion Dao's head was chopped off. Chapter 2695. He's dead! Hellion Dao is dead! Who is that guy? Even He Lianyun Dao wasn't his match. That guy's life aura is very young. He shouldn't be from the heavenly realm, right? I don't know how he cultivated, but he's actually so strong. Could he be from the Xianhuang world? The cultivators watching the battle began to discuss. Then, they began to discuss Lin Feng's identity. Some people felt that perhaps only the mysterious and unpredictable world of the chaotic bound of Xianhuang could possess such terrifying and extraordinary combat power. This guy actually has a storage ring! Lin Feng was shocked when he saw the storage ring. It was left behind by He Lianyun Dao. It seemed that he had obtained it in this space. After taking He Lianyun Dao's storage ring, he had taken He Lianyun Dao's soul origin. Lin Feng quickly left. This was not a place to stay for long. He needed to find a quiet place to refine He Lianyun Dao and the other's soul origin. Then, he would take a look at what was in He Lianyun Dao's storage ring. Lin Feng quickly left. However, the news of He Lianyun Dao's death quickly spread. Although the number of cultivators on the immortal path was small, those who could enter were the top geniuses of various large worlds, or the top experts of the younger generation. Therefore, everyone knew how terrifying He Lianyun Dao, who came from the immortal race, was. Now, He Lianyun Dao had been killed. This was definitely an earth-shattering matter. The immortal race would not let this matter rest so easily. One had to know that the immortal race was not a race that was easy to deal with. This race was abnormally overbearing. This was built on strength. The immortal race was one of the rulers of the heavenly realm. Who would dare to offend them? Not to mention killing an immortal race cultivator. A storm is coming. Just wait and see. Something big is about to happen, someone said. A storm is coming. The immortal path to heaven might become chaotic. Someone sighed. This is an era of turbulence. Either you go against the heavens and change your fate, or you die prematurely, someone said, evaluating Lin Feng. Lin Feng naturally knew that the outside world was in an uproar. However, he didn't care about this matter at all. With his cultivation, even if he faced the top experts of the immortal race's younger generation, he had no fear. Even if he couldn't defeat them. However, Lin Feng believed that with his methods, it would be very easy to get rid of them. Lin Feng found a place for seclusion in another mountain range. He sealed the place where he was cultivating in seclusion with restrictions. Then, he began to refine the Lianyun Dao's soul origin. There was a restriction on their soul origin, which prevented them from prying into the secrets within. They could only devour the powerful energy contained within the soul origin. After absorbing the original souls of He Lianyun Dao and the others, Lin Feng's soul had broken through once again. His soul power was roughly equivalent to that of a cultivator who had reached the third step. Comte. Lin Feng's divine sense invaded the storage ring. Everything in the storage ring appeared in his senses. That's a beast egg. Lin Feng looked at the black beast egg in the storage ring in shock. The black beast egg seemed to contain a terrifying power that could destroy the world. The aura was very familiar. The aura of the two-winged demon flood dragon. Is this the beast egg of the two-winged demon flood dragon? Lin Feng was shocked. The Beast King level 2-winged demon flood dragon had launched a beast tide. It was to find the cultivator who had stolen the beast egg. Many people had been implicated and died tragically in the beast tide. Lin Feng had cursed at the time. He didn't know which immoral bastard had stolen the two-winged demon flood dragon's beast egg and implicated innocent people like him. Now, he knew that the culprits were He Lianyun Dao and the others. The 5 of them were quite lucky. They had managed to come out alive after stealing the two-winged demon flood dragon's beast egg. However, the last thing these people should have done was to provoke him. Lin Feng took out the beast egg. The two-winged demon flood dragon was a primordial variant. A powerful primordial bloodline flowed through its veins. Thus, the two-winged demon flood dragon's cultivation was extremely terrifying and abnormally powerful. The Beast King level 2-winged demon flood dragon had reached the Emperor realm. From this, one could see how astonishing the talent of the two-winged demon flood dragon was. Moreover, the two-winged demon flood dragon's body was enormous and very intimidating. It was simply the perfect mount. Hee, I'll let the two-winged demon flood dragon's beast egg recognize me as its master first. In the future, it can become my young master's mount. Lin Feng's lips curled into a smile. His divine sense surged out and entered the two-winged demon flood dragon's beast egg. Lin Feng imprinted his divine sense into the young beast egg soul. In a flash, Lin Feng had a special connection with the baby beast inside the egg. The young two-winged demon flood dragon was currently in a deep sleep. It would probably take some time for it to hatch. However, Lin Feng guessed that it wouldn't take too long. After sacrificially refining the two-winged demon flood dragon's beast egg, Lin Feng put it back into the storage ring. Then, Lin Feng continued to search for other things in the storage ring. There were some precious natural treasures stored in the storage ring. They should have been obtained by Hellion Yundao from the immortal path to heaven. In addition to these natural treasures, there were more than 10 powerful magic treasures. Most of them were pseudo-emperor level magic treasures. In addition, there were 2 bronze artifacts and 1 stone artifact. Of the 2 bronze artifacts, one was a large saber. The other was a giant axe. They were both very powerful. As for the stone artifact, it was a pity because it was damaged. From its appearance, this stone artifact should be a stone artifact. After being damaged, its power was greatly reduced. Lin Feng put away all these things. Then, he walked all the way into the depths. Sometimes, he would see some cultivators appear on the immortal path to heaven. But soon, those cultivators disappeared without a trace. They had probably obtained an opportunity and disappeared. There were many opportunities on the immortal path to heaven. Whether or not one could obtain them depended on whether one had the opportunity. In the distance, 9 moons appeared, hanging in the air. The moonlight fell like a silver river, beautiful and magnificent. Many cultivators were alarmed. They stood on the immortal path to heaven and looked into the distance. The 9th moon cliff has appeared again, a cultivator in scholarly robes said. It was a mysterious cliff that was connected to the immortal path to heaven. Above the cliff, 9 moons floated. That was the origin of the name 9th Moon Cliff. That is a place of treasure, but also a place of danger. It is said that there is a great secret hidden inside, but it is also extremely dangerous, the cultivator in scholarly robes said. Chapter 2696. The cultivator in scholarly robes exuded a scholarly aura, as if he was a scholar who had read a lot of books. His words caused quite a stir. That was because no one knew much about the September Cliff. Even though some people had heard of the September Cliff, they were still filled with curiosity and doubt about it. That was because the September Cliff was filled with mystery. Lin Feng stood not far away and listened. No one recognized him. Perhaps the cultivators here had not seen him kill Hellion Dao. Of course, some of them might have recognized him. It was just that they did not make it public. A cultivator asked, "Is there anything special about the September Cliff? Rumor has it that a terrifying existence is buried in the 9 Moons Cliff, but there are also rumors that there is actually a treasure that can defy the heavens. There are also rumors that there is actually a terrifying creature imprisoned in the 9 Moons Cliff. There are all kinds of rumors, but many years ago, there was indeed an immortal light gushing out from the 9 Moons Cliff, so there must be something extraordinary inside. Later, someone entered the 9 Moons Cliff, and that person was a peerless existence. After he came out, he warned everyone that although the 9 Moons Cliff contained great opportunities, it also contained great dangers, so it was not to be entered. You can't enter it." However, many people did not believe him. Therefore, every time the September Cliff appeared, many people would enter it to explore. However, a terrifying thing happened. Almost all the cultivators who entered the September Cliff died. Died? Could it be that it really contains great danger? Many people were moved, feeling that the September Cliff was very scary. They were guessing what exactly was hidden in the September Cliff. The cultivator in scholarly robes continued. Perhaps. Many times, danger and opportunity go hand in hand. It's hard to separate them. The cultivator in scholarly robes' words resonated with many people. This sentence was indeed very reasonable. Opportunity and danger were equivalent to two extremes of a matter. One side was positive. One side was negative. The cultivator in scholarly robes continued. When the 9 moons fall, cultivators can bathe in the moonlight and cultivate, absorbing the essence of the 9 moons. Many people were moved and had this idea long ago, although they did not know why 9 moons formed here. However, the power of the moonlight from the 9 moons was extremely pure. It formed a silver river. It absorbed the surrounding cultivators and entered to cultivate. Of course, the 9th moon cliff is very strange. When you enter the moonlight to cultivate, you have to be on guard against some unforeseen events. The cultivator in scholarly robes said, "What unforeseen event will happen?" Someone asked. He wanted to take precautions in advance. This place is too strange. Anything can happen here. The cultivator in scholarly robes said. Many people pondered the words of the Confucian-robed cultivator. It was indeed as the Confucian-robed cultivator said. With our cultivation, even if something happens to the 9th moon cliff, we can quickly leave the 9th moon cliff and return to the heavenly immortal path. A cultivator said confidently. The cultivator in scholarly robes replied, "That's for the best." Whoosh! There were already some cultivators who couldn't wait any longer and quickly flew towards the Milky Way above the September cliff. It was formed from the essence of the moon. The attraction was simply too great. Although September cliff was dangerous, it was worth the risk. There were a total of over 30 cultivators in the surrounding area. One after another, they soared into the sky and flew towards the 9th moon cliff. "Brother, are you not planning to cultivate at 9th moon cliff?" Lin Feng asked. The cultivator in scholarly robes was somewhat hesitant. But in the end, he couldn't resist the temptation of the moonlight energy at the 9th moon cliff. He smiled and said, "I do plan to." Lin Feng nodded and also soared into the sky, flying towards the Milky Way above the 9th moon cliff. The moonlight was the purest form of energy. Lin Feng bathed in the moonlight. He felt as if all the pores on his body had opened up, greedily absorbing the moonlight energy. This feeling was simply too comfortable. Lin Feng circulated the archaic dragon-esque elephant art and began to madly absorb the moonlight energy here. In an instant, Lin Feng felt as if his cultivation had improved. The strength of the moon was extraordinary. It could make Lin Feng's cultivation level increase by leaps and bounds. Lin Feng's face revealed a pleasantly surprised expression. His current cultivation level had stopped at the early stage of the 10th heavenly layer. However, as the moonlight energy was continuously devoured and refined by Lin Feng could clearly feel that his cultivation level had begun to rise. Although the speed of his cultivation level wasn't fast, it was steadily increasing. This was his greatest gain. After an unknown amount of time, Lin Feng's cultivation level rose from the early stage of the 10th heavenly layer to the middle stage of the 10th heavenly layer. Lin Feng's cultivation level was more difficult to raise. Being able to raise it by a small level made Lin Feng very happy. He was still absorbing the power of the moonlight in this place. The moonlight energy was simply too pure. It was very effective in increasing one's cultivation level. Lin Feng's accumulation was too great. It was more difficult for him to break through, so his cultivation level rose less. However, many cultivators' cultivation levels continued to rise after absorbing large amounts of moonlight energy here. These cultivators' cultivation levels improved greatly. The cultivators all revealed excited looks on their faces. Lin Feng's cultivation also rose again. He successfully broke through from the middle stage of the 10th heavenly layer to the late stage of the 10th heavenly layer. Hee, this moonlight energy is really powerful. I'll soon reach the peak of the 10th heavenly layer, Lin Feng said happily. The moonlight energy is already so extraordinary. The secret hidden here must be very shocking, a cultivator said. He narrowed his eyes and looked into the depths of the 9th moon cliff. It was pitch black there. He couldn't see anything. However, the greatest secret of the 9th moon cliff might be hidden there. Some cultivators were already greedy. Simply absorbing moonlight energy was no longer enough to satisfy their inner desires. They wanted to explore the secrets of the ninth moon cliff. The bottom of the ninth moon cliff is extremely dangerous. Everyone, it's best not to be rash, the Confucian-robed cultivator said. What do you know? Fortune comes from danger. If we give up the opportunity in front of us because of the danger, how many opportunities will we miss? Someone replied with a sneer. You must know that most of the cultivators who entered the ninth moon cliff died there. The Confucian-robed cultivator continued to persuade. Another cultivator refuted. You said it yourself? Most of them died there, not all of them. It's obvious that some people came out alive. Since others can come out of the ninth moon cliff alive, why can't we do the same? The Confucian-robed cultivator was refuted to the point that he didn't know how to persuade these people. When the things they obtained couldn't satisfy their inner desires. Chapter 2697. Lin Feng said. The ninth moon cliff is indeed very dangerous. I can feel a terrifying power lurking within, so not entering the ninth moon cliff is the best choice. Brat, who do you think you are? Do you have the right to teach us what to do? A cultivator looked coldly at Lin Feng. Lin Feng said indifferently. I'm not teaching you what to do. I'm just telling you what I feel. No one wants to listen to your nonsense. A cultivator retorted. Said Lin Feng, smiling coldly. He didn't say anything else. Those people were just courting death. He could not be bothered to say anything else. How about we go down together and take a look? A cultivator suggested. He wanted to explore the ninth moon cliff with the others. There was strength in numbers. If they really encountered danger, it would be easy to deal with it. Okay, I agree. I agree too. The cultivators replied one after another. About 15 or 16 cultivators came to a consensus and decided to explore the ninth moon cliff. Some cultivators were tempted but decided to give up in the end because they felt that the ninth moon cliff was very strange. Absorbing the power of the moon in the Milky Way to increase one's cultivation was already a good opportunity. As for other opportunities, or better yet, there were even greater opportunities. They would be left for others. At least these cultivators had some self-awareness. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. More than 10 cultivators flew toward the depths of the ninth moon cliff. Lin Feng retracted his gaze and continued to absorb the power of the moon. The life and death of those people had nothing to do with him. At that moment, Lin Feng only cared about increasing his cultivation level, he didn't care about anything else. The others were like Lin Feng and continued to absorb the power of the moon to increase their cultivation. More cultivators arrived at the ninth moon cliff. Those who had just arrived also hurriedly absorbed the power of the moon to increase their cultivation. Some people looked toward the depths of the ninth moon cliff as if they wanted to explore, but in the end, they did not have the courage. Of course, it was also possible that they wanted to increase their cultivation first. When the power of the moon could no longer increase their cultivation, they would enter the depths to explore. As Lin Feng was absorbing the power of moonlight, a group of cultivators entered the depths of Nine Moons Cliff. A 1-meter-tall immortal tree floated in the air, surrounded by endless immortal chi. There were 9 fruits on top. Those fruits were extremely special. Each fruit was like a phoenix spreading its wings and soaring high in the sky. Immortal medicine of immortality! 9 Phoenix Immortal Tree! When they saw the immortal tree, the group of people all exclaimed. The immortal herb of immortality was an immortal spiritual root that had been nurtured since the beginning of the epoch. Any immortal herb of immortality had all kinds of wondrous uses. However, the most important use was to allow the cultivator to regain their youth and live another life. More importantly, when one regained their youth, one's cultivation would not fall. This was too frightening. Think about it, a boundary emperor realm cultivator was unable to become a great emperor, and his lifespan was nearing its end. He was about to die. At this time, he swallowed an immortal medicine of immortality. He immediately regained his youth. It was very likely that this quasi-emperor realm cultivator would break through to the great emperor realm in the future. A great emperor realm cultivator who was unable to break through to the immortal realm. When he was about to die, he swallowed an immortal herb of immortality and lived another life. Perhaps he could break through to the immortal realm. This was the greatest use of an immortal herb of immortality. Since ancient times, countless experts had searched all over the universe in order to find an immortal herb of immortality, but they could not find any trace of it. Now, an immortal herb of immortality had appeared here. The group of cultivators' eyes were wide open. Whoosh whoosh whoosh, more than 10 cultivators quickly pounced on the immortal herb of immortality, wanting to capture the 9 Phoenix immortal tree. Now, these cultivators had gone completely crazy. They only had one thought in mind, and that was to obtain this immortal herb of immortality. The immortal herb of immortality had a spirit. Seeing these cultivators chasing after it, the immortal herb of immortality quickly flew into the depths of Ninth Moon Cliff. The immortal herb of immortality was simply too fast. Of course, these cultivators were also fast enough. Moreover, there were cultivators who directly attacked the immortal 9 Phoenix tree. They did not mind destroying the 9 Phoenix immortal tree. They only wanted to obtain the fruits it bore. Faced with these cultivators' attacks, the 9 Phoenix immortal tree suddenly turned into a fire phoenix. The fire phoenix flapped its wings. In an instant, the attacks of these cultivators were all shattered by the fire phoenix. Then, the fire phoenix spread its wings and quickly flew into the depths. "We can't let it escape!" "Don't worry, it won't escape!" A group of cultivators shouted excitedly. They increased their speed. They quickly rushed into the depths of Ninth Moon Cliff. Outside, Lin Feng's body was undergoing changes. He discovered that his sovereign bloodline had begun to circulate on its own. Moreover, it seemed to be showing signs of awakening. Lin Feng's immortal divine blood had awakened by 40%. His sovereign bloodline had awakened by 30%. During these breakthroughs, Lin Feng's bloodline had not been able to awaken. But now, Lin Feng discovered that his sovereign bloodline had changed. This made him very happy. Every time the sovereign bloodline awakened, Lin Feng's bloodline power would increase greatly. With that, his battle prowess would naturally increase as well. When his immortal divine blood and sovereign bloodline each reached 50%, Lin Feng would be able to complete the cycle of yin and yang. Perhaps by then, Lin Feng would have broken through to the great emperor realm. Of course, Lin Feng had yet to undergo a deeper bloodline awakening. Bloodline awakening was different from bloodline awakening. Bloodline awakening was the transformation of ordinary blood into a special bloodline. Bloodline awakening was the awakening of some heaven-defying ability left behind by one's ancestors, or the awakening of a powerful bloodline power. In the future, when Lin Feng underwent a deeper bloodline awakening, Lin Feng would be even more powerful and terrifying. The sovereign bloodline began to actively absorb moonlight energy. This was Lin Feng's first time seeing this. Next, the immortal divine blood awakened on its own. Like the sovereign bloodline, it began to actively absorb moonlight energy. Could it be that the two bloodlines are going to awaken again? Lin Feng couldn't help but be pleasantly surprised. A huge whirlpool formed above Lin Feng. Moonlight energy poured into the whirlpool continuously. Such a huge commotion naturally alarmed many cultivators. Many people looked at Lin Feng. "It's him!" A cultivator who had just arrived looked at Lin Feng in shock. "Who is he?" someone asked curiously. "He's the one who killed Hellion Yin Dao. I heard that the other geniuses of the Hellion clan are looking for him. I didn't expect him to be here," the cultivator said. "What? He's the cultivator who killed Hellion Yin Dao?" Many people were astonished when they heard that. They looked at Lin Feng in awe and veneration. Chapter 2698. Now that Lin Feng's identity was exposed, it caused a huge uproar because Lin Feng's identity was simply too shocking. Recently, all kinds of news about Lin Feng had been spreading like wildfire. Now, everyone finally saw Lin Feng in person. "He's really young." The rumors are true. Some people say that he's a cultivator from the Xianhuang realm. I wonder if it's true. There's no smoke without fire. Since that's what the outside world is saying, it might be true. Many cultivators began to discuss softly. Now, more and more people believed that Lin Feng came from the Xianhuang realm. This was because the combat strength that Lin Feng displayed was too strong. He did not seem like a cultivator from the mortal world. And Lin Feng was clearly not a cultivator from the heavenly realm. Then, he could only be a cultivator from the Xianhuang realm or the underworld. Lin Feng could not possibly be a cultivator from the underworld either. This was because cultivators from the underworld were all in spirits and ghosts. And Lin Feng was a human. Then, there was only one possibility left. Lin Feng came from the Xianhuang realm. The Xianhuang realm was a mysterious and unfathomable realm. There were too few rumors about this realm. Cultivators from the outside world did not know much about this realm. The only thing they knew was that this realm, the heavenly realm, and the underworld were known as the three supreme realms of this era. There was a saying that the Xianhuang realm was related to the Khanate lifeforms. It was widely rumored that the Khanate lifeforms had fallen after the Great Khanate Lifeform War. Countless years had passed, and no Khanate lifeforms had appeared again. However, some people believed that there were actually some Khanate lifeforms who had survived the war. It was just that those Khanate lifeforms had entered the Xianhuang realm. After the Great Khanate Lifeform War, they had never left the Xianhuang realm. As for whether this rumor was true, no one knew. Many people tried to find the location of the Xianhuang realm. But the Xianhuang realm was too mysterious. It was impossible to find its exact location. Cultivators could ascend and enter the heavenly realm. But there seemed to be no way to enter the Xianhuang realm. Lin Feng was so young, but he had such a terrifying cultivation. Furthermore, he was not afraid of the revenge of the immortal race. This was also why so many people believed that Lin Feng could be a cultivator from the chaotic bound of heaven and earth. Lin Feng didn't care about the gazes of the people around him. He was devouring the moonlight energy with all his might. The pure moon strength fused with Lin Feng's blood. Lin Feng realized that his godly immortal blood and ruler's great imperial blood were changing. At the same time, Lin Feng's realm was also steadily increasing. The fire phoenix is there. Then, a cultivator pointed in a direction. The fire phoenix transformed from the 9 phoenix immortal tree stood on top of the parasol tree. Its eyes were looking at the group of cultivators. Its eyes were extremely cold. The group of cultivators couldn't help but frown. The fire phoenix's eyes seemed to be filled with confidence. No one knew where that confidence came from. It's just a bluff. That fire phoenix won't be able to escape today, someone said indifferently. He couldn't wait any longer and quickly rushed toward the parasol tree where the fire phoenix was. Boom! At that moment, a terrifying aura came from a black hole behind the parasol tree. Everyone's attention was drawn to the black hole. Previously, no one had noticed the black hole. That was because everyone's attention was on the fire phoenix. Now, everyone's attention was on the black hole. The aura coming from the black hole made everyone's heart palpitate. Huff, 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 suddenly, a black fog surged out and shrouded the group of cultivators. Something's wrong. Let's go. The cultivator surnamed Shue's face changed. He couldn't help but shout. He took the lead and rushed outside. The rest of the people also hurriedly rushed outside. But it was too late. The black fog shrouded all the cultivators. Their bodies exploded, and they died on the spot. Why is this happening? The cultivators who were still alive screamed in horror. They were filled with regret. They regretted taking the risk to enter this place. But it was too late to regret now. Everyone was shrouded by the black fog. Then, their bodies exploded. Soul essence, the most delicious food. A sinister voice came from the black hole. Chapter 2699. A large amount of moonlight energy poured into Lin Feng's body. Both his bloodlines and his cultivation were improving. Finally, Lin Feng broke through to the peak of the celestial god realm. This made Lin Feng very happy. He was now only a step away from the giant god realm. Lin Feng's bloodline power was also improving. His sovereign emperor bloodline had risen from 30% to 31%. His undying divine bloodline recovered from 40% to 42%. Lin Feng's bloodline was very powerful. Every time he recovered a part of his bloodline, his battle prowess would soar. Now, Lin Feng felt as if his body had recovered a great amount of power. This feeling was too good. Moonlight energy could no longer help Lin Feng break through. If he did, Lin Feng would break through to the giant god realm. Moonlight couldn't help Lin Feng break through to the giant god layer. However, moonlight energy could continue to improve Lin Feng's bloodline. The reason why moonlight energy was so magical was that it seemed to contain a special kind of energy. Lin Feng could feel that energy, but he didn't know what kind of energy it was. His body was absorbing moonlight energy endlessly. At this time, a sinister voice came from the black hole in the depths of the 9th moon cliff. After refining these souls, I've recovered a little. However, it's not enough. It's far from enough. I need more souls. As the voice fell, black fog surged out of the black hole and rushed out of the 9th moon cliff. The black fog swept across the world, rolling violently and emitting waves of shocking energy. It didn't take long for the black fog to reach the outside. What's that? Someone exclaimed as he pointed at the black fog flying out from the depths of the 9th moon cliff. Not good. Run! When Lin Feng saw the black fog, he couldn't help but look glum. He felt a great danger sweeping over him. The black fog was definitely extremely terrifying. Lin Feng guessed that the cultivators who had entered the depths of the 9th moon cliff were most likely dead by now. The cultivator in scholarly robes and himself had advised those people not to enter the depths of the 9th moon cliff. However, those people didn't listen at all. Some even spoke ill of them. Those people had only themselves to blame for dying tragically in the depths of the 9th moon cliff. However, it seemed that the cultivators who hadn't entered the depths of the 9th moon cliff were about to suffer a calamity. This made Lin Feng quite depressed. We've always been honest, okay? However, the world was extremely cruel. It wouldn't be gentle with us just because you didn't do anything risky. Many times this was what it meant by calamity. Whoosh! Whoosh! Everyone quickly rushed outside, each of them pushing their speed to the limit. However, the speed of the black fog was very fast. It caught up in an instant and enveloped everyone. It then dragged the cultivators into the depths of the 9th moon cliff. Some of the cultivators of the Emperor of the 9th moon cliff. Those cultivators relied on powerful treasures or talismans to break free from the shackles of the black mist. Then, he quickly escaped. Break! Lin Feng released his domineering aura. He wanted to use his domineering aura to break the black fog's restraint on his body. However, he failed. The black fog was very strange. His domineering aura couldn't suppress the black fog. One could only escape by relying on some special Dharma treasures or escape talismans. However, Lin Feng didn't have any of these things. Including Lin Feng, there were still more than 20 people who didn't have any Dharma treasures or escape talismans. Therefore, their bodies flew uncontrollably toward the depths of the 9th moon cliff. Bang! Along the way, some of the weaker cultivators were the first to be unable to withstand the terrifying pressure emanating from the black fog. Their bodies collapsed and they died on the spot. I don't want to die. I don't want to die. My future is bright. I can't die here. Spare me. Spare me. My father is the world master of the mysterious sky world. As long as you spare me, I can give you endless benefits. No matter what you want, I can give it to you. Many people's minds were completely out of balance. Few could remain calm in the face of death. One by one, they screamed in horror. This was human nature. No one wanted to die. It was better to live than to die. This sentence was very reasonable. However, no one paid attention to these people's pleas. A terrifying aura pervaded between heaven and earth. It was emitting waves of shocking fluctuations. Bang, 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 The cultivators' bodies exploded in midair. They couldn't withstand the terrifying pressure from the black fog at all. No one knew what kind of existence it was that killed them all. Lin Feng used his domineering aura to protect his body. Although his domineering aura couldn't break free from the black fog's devouring. However, it could protect his body from being hurt. Therefore, Lin Feng didn't suffer a calamity. When he entered the depths of the 9th moon cliff, Lin Feng saw the huge parasol tree. He also saw the fire phoenix on the parasol tree. Lin Feng was extremely surprised. There was actually a fire phoenix living here. It was really shocking. However, Lin Feng soon felt that something was wrong with the fire phoenix. This was a very special feeling, a very mysterious feeling. Lin Feng opened his heavenly demon snake eyes and looked at the fire phoenix. He was shocked. Because he saw the fire phoenix's true body. It wasn't a real fire phoenix, but an immortal medicine. It's actually the 9 phoenix immortal tree! Lin Feng's heart was pounding like a tidal wave. Immortal medicine. This was an extremely heaven-defying treasure. A complete immortal medicine could allow a person to live another life. The ancient emperors. The ancient immortals. In order to find immortal medicine, they searched the heavens. Now, an immortal medicine had appeared here. If he could catch this 9 phoenix immortal tree and cultivate it himself, it would be great. It was rumored that some heaven-defying experts. They had all planted immortal medicines. It was to prolong their lives when they were old. Of course, now wasn't the time to think about catching the 9 phoenix immortal tree. Instead, he was thinking about how to get through this crisis. Bang, 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 cultivators' bodies exploded one by one. After arriving here, only 5 cultivators' bodies didn't explode. Those 5 cultivators included Lin Feng, a woman in a black dress, and a cultivator with a mask covering his face. Lin Feng didn't know who he was. One of them was a cultivator with 4 golden wings and the other was a cultivator from the white hair race. These 5 cultivators all had their own methods, so they didn't suffer. However, they couldn't get rid of the black fog. Everyone's face was extremely gloomy. They could feel the aura of death enveloping their bodies. The black hole emitted a powerful suction force. Chapter 2700. It was pitch black inside the black hole, so dark that they couldn't even see their own fingers. A cold and terrifying aura emanated from the place. Lin Feng and the others turned solemn. They didn't know what kind of terrifying existence was hiding inside the black hole, so they were naturally worried about their own safety. Delicious, truly delicious. Keek keek. A sinister voice resounded in the cave. It seemed like a terrifying existence was speaking in the darkness. The female cultivator threw out a few luminous pearls, which instantly lit up. Everyone could see the scene inside the cave clearly. There was actually a cloud of black fog floating in the cave. A mysterious existence seemed to be hiding inside the black mist, devouring the souls of the dead cultivators. "Who are you?" the female cultivator asked. "I'm someone who has long been forgotten," the existence in the black mist said sinisterly. "You're from the previous epoch." Lin Feng couldn't help but frown. The black mist was very strange. He had encountered it before, so Lin Feng felt that this existence was from the previous epoch. It was a terrifying existence with incredible means. "The previous epoch?" The existence in the black mist laughed sinisterly. "How come I don't know that I'm from the previous epoch? I've almost forgotten my own origin." "You're not from the previous epoch?" Lin Feng was surprised. Lin Feng had the impression that the mysterious cultivator's chi was similar to that of a cultivator from the previous epoch, but the mysterious cultivator didn't seem to be from the previous epoch. Lin Feng didn't understand. He didn't know what extraordinary origin this mysterious existence had, but Lin Feng felt that this mysterious existence was giving off an indescribable feeling. "Delicious, truly delicious." As the mysterious creature devoured the soul sources of the dead cultivators, it continued to mutter some words. The soul essences of the dead cultivators seemed to be very useful to him. After devouring the soul essences of those dead cultivators, Lin Feng could clearly sense that the mysterious existence's aura had become much stronger. How many years has it been since I last devoured the sole source of a cultivator? This feeling is really nostalgic. The voice of the mysterious being was extremely sinister. His sinister eyes looked towards Lin Feng and the others. Lin Feng and the others acted as if they were facing a great enemy. In the face of such a terrifying existence, no one could remain calm. Sir, do you wish to fight us? The cultivator with 4 golden wings said indifferently. His wings seemed to be made of metal and emitted a metallic luster. The 4 wings were terrifying. They were the feathers of an immortal spirit. It was surrounded by a mysterious power. Are you worthy? The mysterious existence sneered. Whoosh! In the next moment, he appeared in front of the cultivator, and a withered hand reached out from the black fog. Like the ghost claw of a malicious spirit, it clawed toward the cultivator's neck. Slash! The cultivator's reaction was also extremely fast. His 4 wings flapped with lightning-like speed, creating whooshing sounds. Like 4 golden swords, they quickly slashed towards the existence within the black fog. Kill him! Lin Feng shouted. If he didn't make a move now, when would he make a move? He took the lead and rushed towards the mysterious being. Then, he circulated his 3 types of qi, wanting to suppress the mysterious being. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. However, what surprised Lin Feng was that the other 3 cultivators directly fled outside. Obviously, they didn't plan to fight with the mysterious being. They wanted to escape while the mysterious being was attacking the 4-winged clan cultivator. Damn! Lin Feng couldn't help but roll his eyes. Seeing that the others didn't plan to make a move, he also withdrew his qi and ran outside. Puff! The mysterious being was really too terrifying. It directly pierced through the 4-winged clan cultivator's wings. Then, its sharp claw-like hand pierced through the 4-winged clan cultivator's head. 5 bloody holes appeared on the 4-winged clan cultivator's head. Those were the 5 bloody holes left behind by the mysterious being's fingers. After killing the 4-winged clan cultivator, the mysterious being instantly disappeared without a trace. Then, he appeared at the entrance of the cave. Puff! The mysterious being attacked and locked onto the white-haired clan cultivator. Its sharp claws pierced towards the white-haired clan cultivator's head. The mysterious being's appearance was really too sudden. The white-haired clan cultivator didn't even have time to react. 5 bloody holes appeared on his head. The white-haired clan cultivator died a miserable death. Lin Feng, the female cultivator, and the masked cultivator all retreated. Keek, none of you can escape! The mysterious being laughed maliciously. As though it had teleported, it arrived in front of the masked cultivator. It attacked the 4-winged clan cultivator and the white-haired clan cultivator in exactly the same way. It pierced towards the masked cultivator with a single hand. The most terrifying thing about this mysterious being was that it was too fast. The speed of its attack was also very fast. It was so fast that people didn't have time to condense a powerful divine ability to deal with it. The masked cultivator opened his mouth and spat out a demonic saber. The demonic saber quickly enlarged and slashed towards the mysterious being. However, the mysterious being was really too terrifying. It actually grabbed the demonic saber. Then, it lightly slashed with its right hand. Puff! The masked cultivator's head was chopped off by his own magic treasure. The masked cultivator died. Swoosh! The mysterious being disappeared again. The next moment, it appeared in front of the female cultivator. That female cultivator was a stunner. Whether it was her figure or her face, they were both impeccable. Even though Lin Feng was used to seeing all kinds of beauties, he still couldn't help but be stunned. After seeing that female cultivator, he couldn't help but feel a bit stunned. Such a woman, any normal man would want to hold her in their arms and love her dearly. But obviously, this mysterious being wasn't a normal person. It didn't know what it meant to have tender feelings for the fairer sex. Its sharp claws swiped towards the female cultivator. 2 short blades appeared in the female cultivator's hands and slashed towards the mysterious being. But the mysterious being's claws were too sharp. They easily broke the female cultivator's weapons. Then it grabbed the female cultivator's neck. Seeing that you're a woman, I'll leave you with a complete corpse. The mysterious being looked at the female cultivator with a gloomy expression. The female cultivator looked at the mysterious being with fear and begging eyes. Don't! Such a beautiful fairy, it's too much of a waste to just kill her! Lin Feng shouted. Crack! A moment later, the mysterious being broke the female cultivator's neck. The female cultivator died a horrible death. When Lin Feng saw the female cultivator's face, he sighed. She was such a beautiful woman, and surprisingly, she had been killed. What a pity! The mysterious being looked at Lin Feng with a mocking expression. You're about to die, yet you still have tender feelings for the fairer sex. Now I really want to pry open your head and see what you're thinking. Swish. Chapter 2701. Lin Feng had already witnessed how terrifying the mysterious living being was. Hence, he knew that this was a crucial moment for him. If he was careless, he would end up like the previous four and die tragically at the hands of the mysterious living being. After the mysterious living being disappeared, Lin Feng began to activate the 3 types of qi. The mysterious living being appeared silently in front of Lin Feng. It's your turn. The mysterious living being's lips curled into a sinister smile. Its ghost-like claws pierced towards Lin Feng's head. Epic qi, white tiger qi, supreme qi! Lin Feng shouted in his heart. The 3 types of qi stacked together. The power of qi. It shook the void. The power of the 3 types of qi stacked together skyrocketed. After the mysterious living being was enveloped by Lin Feng's qi, its speed was greatly reduced. Qi was indeed qi. No matter how powerful the mysterious living being was. When faced with qi, its body would be affected. I'll kill you, you bastard! Lin Feng shouted. The stone sword appeared in his hand. He waved the stone sword and slashed at the mysterious living being. The mysterious living being instinctively used its right hand to block the attack. Puff! A tearing sound was heard. The mysterious living being's arm was chopped off by Lin Feng's stone sword. Ah! The mysterious living being let out a miserable shriek. Then, he quickly retreated. The mysterious living being's arm turned into pure soul origin energy. Soul origin energy. So, you're a spiritual body. Lin Feng was stupefied. He immediately released his absorbing spirit and started absorbing the original strength of the mysterious creature's soul. Stone sword. The mysterious living being's voice became extremely cold and eerie. However, it did not attack Lin Feng again because it was restrained by Lin Feng's stone sword. Lin Feng naturally noticed this. The stone sword had a mysterious origin and was extremely powerful. However, the stone sword had an extremely important ability. The stone sword was extremely harmful to the living beings of the previous epoch. It was far more harmful than other living beings. Lin Feng did not know why. However, since the stone sword had such a special ability, there must be a reason. The mysterious living being was extremely powerful. Lin Feng was not its match. However, Lin Feng, who controlled the stone sword, had severely injured the mysterious living being. If it was not a living being of the previous epoch, with its strength, it should not have suffered such severe injuries. Even though the mysterious creature didn't say he was from the previous era, Lin Feng had the impression that things weren't that simple. He had the impression that the creature was from the previous era. Lin Feng had the impression that the creature was from the previous era. Lin Feng smiled icily. It seems like you know the stone sword. You said you weren't from the last epoch, right? If he wasn't from the previous epoch, would my stone sword have inflicted such serious damage on him? Why bring up my past? Why bring up my past? Why bring up my past? The mysterious living being roared furiously. Lin Feng had brought up his past. It seemed like he had been provoked. Lin Feng was puzzled. What had happened to this guy? Why couldn't he mention his past? I want to mention it. If you have the ability, come and kill me. Lin Feng curled his lips and continued to provoke the mysterious living being. Shut up. Otherwise, I'll devour you. The mysterious living being glared fiercely at Lin Feng. Come on. Do you think I'm afraid of you? Lin Feng controlled the stone sword. After knowing that the stone sword was the bane of the mysterious living being, he was very confident. The mysterious living being's expression was extremely gloomy. It wanted to pounce at Lin Feng several times, but it gave up in the end. The stone sword made it extremely wary. If he did not have the stone sword, he was confident that he could crush this ant in front of him to death within 3 moves. A living being from the previous era living like you, either human nor ghost. What a failure! Lin Feng mocked. I've already told you that I'm not a living being from the previous epoch. Do you want me to repeat myself? You're right. Oh? Not a living being from the previous era? Could it be that you're a living being from the epoch before that? Lin Feng casually muttered with a hint of mockery. But this time, the mysterious living being actually didn't refute Lin Feng. Lin Feng was extremely shocked. He had only said it casually, but judging from the mysterious living being's reaction, could it be that he was right? This living being wasn't a living being from the previous era. Instead, it was a living being from the previous era. When he thought of this possibility, Lin Feng couldn't help but feel shocked. This was a living being that had lived for more than 2 eras. A living being from the previous era shouldn't have lived such a miserable life after living for 2 eras, right? Lin Feng said. What do you know? What do you know? The mysterious living being roared furiously. It seemed to have lost all rationality. Its eyes flickered with boundless killing intent and fury. It couldn't forget what had happened in the past. After scheming for so long, I ended up suffering such a calamity. Even a wise man can make a mistake. His emotions finally calmed down a lot, and then he said these words. A single slit brings everlasting sorrow. I'm too lazy to ask about what happened in the past. I'm officially informing you that I'm going to rob you. Teach me the divine abilities you cultivate, especially the 3000 DAOs, top-tier immortal techniques, and so on. Otherwise, I'll cut you into pieces, shouted Lin Feng while holding his stone sword. His voice was filled with threats. Lin Feng looked at the mysterious creature. The mysterious living being was stunned. It couldn't believe its ears. It was being robbed. On top of that, Lin Feng, a nobody, had dared to rob them. Kid, do you know what you're saying? The mysterious living being roared furiously. It glared at Lin Feng fiercely. Lin Feng said, I'm robbing you. Don't you understand human language? The mysterious living being was hopping mad. It was being robbed by an ant. In its eyes, Lin Feng was just a small fry that it could squash with a single finger. But now, such a small fry had dared to rob it. This drove the mysterious living being mad. If it were any other time, Lin Feng would have died countless times. But now, Lin Feng was in control of the stone sword. The mysterious living being was filled with fear. If you leave now, you can still live. Otherwise, I'll make sure you die here. Chapter 2702. I'd like to see what you're capable of, Lin Feng sneered. He unleashed 3 different arahais. At the same time, he waved the stone sword and attacked the mysterious being. Although the mysterious being was from the previous era and had a terrifying cultivation base, Lin Feng was still able to sense it. In reality, Lin Feng had already realized that this being must have experienced something unbearable in the past. That was why it no longer had a physical body, and only its soul was left. Of course, even if only its soul was left, it was still extremely terrifying and almost impossible to fight against. However, as the saying went, everything in the world had a counter to each other. Lin Feng happened to be able to counter this mysterious being. The 3 different arahais could be used as a deterrent. The stone sword could severely injure the mysterious being. Now, the mysterious being was completely suppressed by Lin Feng. That was why Lin Feng dared to rob it. If he didn't have a way to restrain the mysterious creature, he would be committing suicide by robbing it. Lin Feng thought that he wasn't that stupid. Boom! A terrifying aura filled the air. Lin Feng raised his battle prowess to the maximum. However, the mysterious being didn't fight Lin Feng head-on. It kept dodging Lin Feng's attacks. What? You're so scared of me? It's no wonder you ended up like this. There's a reason for that. Lin Feng mocked. The mysterious being wanted nothing more than to crush Lin Feng to death. Lin Feng kept mocking and provoking him, and the mysterious being was on the verge of exploding. However, when he thought about how Lin Feng could counter him, he couldn't help it. The mysterious being had no choice but to suppress his anger. He said coldly, "If it wasn't for the stone sword, you would have died countless times. How dare you show off in front of me?" Lin Feng said indifferently. "So what if I rely on the stone sword? Magic treasures are also a part of a cultivator's cultivation. If you don't even have this awareness, then you've lived for so many years in vain," the mysterious being said with an indifferent expression. "I can't be bothered to say anything more to you." Swish! The mysterious being waved its right hand. In an instant, a jade tube flew out towards Lin Feng. Lin Feng grabbed the jade tube. "There is a kind of divine ability inside. If you want to cultivate it, you can try cultivating it," the mysterious being said. Lin Feng sensed for a moment. The fall of the three realms? What demonic art is this? Lin Feng was very surprised. "This is a divine ability that I created after witnessing the destruction of an epoch and the collapse of the three supreme realms," the mysterious being said. "What do you mean? Did the previous era also have the three paramount realms? Or was there a three paramount realms in the epoch before that?" Lin Feng asked. "No matter which epoch it is, there will always be the higher planes, the mortal planes, and the undead planes. The higher planes are like the celestial realm of this epoch. The mortal planes are like the 3,000 major worlds of this epoch, with all sorts of life-bearing planets, and so on. The undead planes are like the netherworld. These are the so-called three great planes, also known as the three realms. The three realms I speak of and the three realms you speak of are not the same," the mysterious being said. Hearing this explanation, Lin Feng understood what the mysterious being meant by the three realms. He then chuckled and said, "I still need one more thing before I leave." The mysterious being's anger rose as it said coldly, "Don't push your luck. The reason I chose to give you this divine ability is because I don't want both of us to suffer. If you continue to extort and extort me, then we'll just fight to the death," Lin Feng said. "Don't get so worked up. Aren't we talking about cooperation right now? I'm a righteous person. I'll never extort and extort others." The mysterious being suddenly had the urge to slap Lin Feng to death. "You have the nerve to say that you'll never extort and extort others? You were just talking about robbing me." Of course, the mysterious being didn't say any of this out loud. It glared fiercely at Lin Feng. Right now, it only wanted to send Lin Feng away as soon as possible. "Speak. What else do you want?" the mysterious being asked. Lin Feng smiled. "Since you have no use for the 9 Phoenix Immortal Tree outside, why don't you give it to me?" the mysterious being sneered. "How do you know that I have no use for the 9 Phoenix Immortal Tree? If you want the 9 Phoenix Immortal Tree, I think you should give up on it while it's still early." The mysterious being's tone was very firm. Clearly, it wouldn't agree to Lin Feng's request. In truth, Lin Feng had already guessed that this would happen. He also knew that the mysterious being wouldn't agree. Lin Feng's goal was actually the 9 immortal fruits born by the 9 Phoenix Immortal Tree. The principle of negotiation was to first propose a seemingly impossible goal. The other party would naturally refuse, then lower the goal appropriately. Perhaps the other party would agree. Haggling. This was extremely important in negotiations. Lin Feng said, "I don't want the 9 Phoenix Immortal Tree anymore. Just give me the 9 immortal fruits. 9 immortal fruits can allow a person to live another life if consumed at the same time. This is a heaven-defying item. Do you think it's possible for you to just casually ask for it?" the mysterious being said coldly. "Nothing is impossible in this world," Lin Feng said. "Fine. I can give it to you, but you have to promise me one thing," the mysterious being suddenly said. "What is it?" Lin Feng looked at the mysterious being cautiously, as if guarding against a thief. Lin Feng's gaze left the mysterious being speechless. Where did this freak come from? This guy really made one gnash their teeth in anger. If you go to the primal chaos bound of Xianhuang in the future, go to a place called the Time Domain and help me pay respects to a lonely grave there. At this point, the mysterious being's voice turned gloomy. It was filled with sadness. Lin Feng was astonished. To think that this guy would feel sad as well. Whose grave is that? Lin Feng asked. Don't ask what you shouldn't ask, the mysterious being said coldly. Fine, I won't ask. Lin Feng pursed his lips. He then asked, Where is the primal chaos bound of Xianhuang? It's a mysterious place. If you have the opportunity, you can naturally reach that place. If not, you will never be able to enter that world, the mysterious being said. Lin Feng frowned. This guy actually made the primal chaos bound of Xianhuang sound so mysterious. Lin Feng couldn't help but feel curious about the primal chaos bound of Xianhuang. The mysterious being summoned the Fire Phoenix. The Fire Phoenix turned into the 9 Phoenix Immortal Tree. The mysterious being plucked the 9 immortal fruits from the Fire Phoenix and handed them to Lin Feng. A cultivator can only regain their youth once in their lifetime. Thus, you have to consider carefully when to consume the 9 immortal fruits. Don't waste such a treasure, the mysterious being said. Chapter 2703. Thank you for the reminder. I'll take my leave then. Lin Feng cupped his fists and quickly left. After leaving the 9th moon cliff, he returned to the immortal path. The 9th moon cliff was gone. How lucky! Not only did I not die, but I also obtained something heaven-defying. Lin Feng's face lit up with joy. This was not a place to stay for long. Lin Feng did not stay and quickly left. This time, Lin Feng had obtained too many benefits from the 9th moon cliff. His cultivation had increased, his bloodline had recovered 9 immortal fruits, and the mysterious creature had created a powerful divine ability, the 3 realms fall. Any one of these opportunities was enough to make one's heart palpitate. This trip was not in vain. Lin Feng had obtained 4 opportunities. No wonder Dugaya wanted to send Lin Feng to the immortal path to heaven to cultivate. There were too many opportunities here. Boom! Not long after, waves of violent fluctuations surged from the depths. A huge cultivation dojo appeared in the depths of the dojo. In the hall, there was a battle between cultivators. At this moment, many people had gathered in the hall to watch the battle. Lin Feng also entered the hall. Everyone's eyes were attracted by the battle in the hall, so no one noticed Lin Feng's arrival. Lin Feng had killed Helen Dao before. But in reality, very few people had seen Lin Feng before. Therefore, it was normal that no one knew Lin Feng. The cultivators fighting were very powerful. Lin Feng asked around and found out the identities of the 2 people. The white-clothed cultivator was called Murong Qianmo. This person's identity was extremely extraordinary. He was a genius of the Celestial Clan in the Heaven Realm. The Celestial Clan was one of the oldest branches of the human race. Now in the Heaven Realm, they were also the rulers of a region. They were one of the most powerful forces in the Heaven Realm. The other cultivator was a Demon Clan cultivator. He was a cultivator of the Peacock Clan. He looked quite young, but his cultivation was abnormally tyrannical. The descendant of the Peacock Clan has a mysterious origin. Some people say that he might be from the Demon Realm, but the cultivators of the Demon Realm don't know him. It's very likely that he's not from the Demon Realm, a cultivator said. The Yao world was a super world ranked in the top 7 of the 3,000 great worlds. It was extremely powerful and filled with experts. It was also a world ruled by the Yao race cultivators. There are many ancient races in the Demon Realm. It was said that the descendants of the great sage, Heaven's equal, were all in the Demon Realm. Of course, this was only a rumor. The great sage, Heaven's equal, was too mysterious. Back then, he illuminated the world, but he quickly disappeared without a trace. Even when his younger brother, the battle-sacred ape, was killed, the great sage, heaven's equal, did not appear. Therefore, whether the great sage, heaven's equal, really had descendants was something worth discussing. That demon clan cultivator is called Kong Ming. The two of them fought over this training ground, the cultivator said. This person was very talkative. After chatting with Lin Feng for a while, Lin Feng learned that this person was called Pan Di, from the Soaring Dragon Great World. This was the first time Lin Feng had heard of the Soaring Dragon Great World. He knew nothing about it. Is there anything special about this training hall? Lin Feng asked. It is said that this dojo was left behind by the fire god Zhurong, Pundi said. The fire god Zhurong was a connate life form. He was the first life form born from the flames. His cultivation was so strong that he could defy heaven and earth. The terror of this existence was simply unimaginable. If he had left behind a legacy, it would definitely be an extremely heaven-defying legacy. No wonder they fought, Lin Feng muttered. Originally, Kong Ming first occupied this training ground to comprehend Tao. A few demon clan cultivators were guarding him. Just as Kong Ming was about to comprehend the Tao here, Murong Qianma from the heavenly human clan arrived. That person was extremely powerful. He directly injured several Yao cultivators who were guarding Kong Ming. Moreover, he wanted to occupy this place to cultivate. Kong Ming's cultivation state was interrupted and he almost suffered a backlash, Pundi said. Disturbing others' cultivation is a great taboo in the world of cultivators, Lin Feng said. This kind of thing was very immoral and could easily create endless hatred. Therefore, cultivators were very careful and would not casually disturb others' cultivation. However, Murong Qianma did not care about anything at all. He was of noble birth and powerful. Naturally, he did not care about other people's feelings. The battle between the two was extremely fierce. Whether it was Murong Qianma or Kong Ming, they both displayed extremely heaven-defying combat strength. Dirty thing, today I'll let you have a taste of my secret technique, the unique and unique palm. Murong Qianma looked at Kong Ming indifferently. In fact, as the successor of the Peacock clan, Kong Ming's bloodline was extremely powerful. However, in Murong Qianma's eyes, Kong Ming had become a dirty bloodline. From this, one could see how proud Murong Qianma was. Of course, this might have too much to do with his background. After all, the heavenly human clan had always been one of the few major forces that ruled the heavenly realm. They were used to being high and mighty. Naturally, they looked down on cultivators from other clans. Boom! Murong Qianma used the unique and unique palm. A terrifying aura was emitted from his body. Between heaven and earth. The unique and unique palm. This was an extremely terrifying willpower. Many people were shocked when they felt the aura emitted from Murong Qianma's body. This divine ability was too powerful. It had an invincible will. That terrifying palm directly blasted towards Kong Ming. Seeing that the palm was about to hit Kong Ming's body, Kong Ming also used a powerful secret technique. Merciful and merciful palm! Kong Ming stepped forward. Buddhist light surged out from his body. The shadow of an ancient Buddha appeared behind him. That ancient Buddha was kind and benevolent, delivering all living beings. It was rumored that the ancestor of the Peacock clan, Mahamayuri, had cultivated in Buddhism for many years. He was the sacred bird of Buddhism. Therefore, the Peacock clan had mastered many powerful Buddhist divine abilities. The divine ability that Kong Ming used was a powerful Buddhist divine ability. The power of this divine ability was unusually tyrannical and terrifying. Bang! Both sides suddenly collided fiercely. Then, they both retreated. Obviously, either of them could do anything to the other. You keep saying that others have dirty bloodlines, but your strength is only SOSO. It's simply slapping your own face. Kong Ming sneered and looked at Murong Qianma. His face was full of sarcasm. You reckless fool! Very soon, you will know how weak and lowly you are. Murong Qianmo's face suddenly sank, and his eyes flashed with dense killing intent. An even more terrifying aura gushed out from his body. Obviously, Murong Qianmo was preparing a more powerful attack. At this time, Kongming also began to circulate his spiritual power. A terrifying power was recovering in his dantian. Kongming also began to prepare a powerful attack. An even more intense battle was about to break out. But at this time, there was a change. Rumble, rumble! The dojo below shook violently. Crack! Chapter 2704. Such a shocking fluctuation naturally shocked everyone. Everyone was attracted by the changes in front of them. Even Kongming and Murong Qianmo stopped fighting at this moment. They floated in the air and looked at the cracked dojo. Is something left behind by Fire God Zhurong about to appear? The legacy of the Great Tao, some powerful magic treasures, or some natural treasures? Lin Feng couldn't help but ponder. Fire God Zhurong's origin was too great. He was the first fire god and the first god to control fire. His history was even older than Swearin of the human race. Everyone knew that Swearin made fire by drilling wood. However, no one knew that Fire God Zhurong had long been able to control fire. It was said that Fire God Zhurong was a natural life form born from fire. In that era, there were only 72 types of fire, which were 72 types of heavenly fire. Fire God Zhurong was born from heavenly fire. As for which generation of heavenly fire he was born from, no one knew. After all, it was too long ago, and had long become a mystery. However, there were still many legends about Fire God Zhurong in the world. For example, some of Fire God Zhurong's treasures. The famous firestorm wheels were Fire God Zhurong's magic treasure. In addition to the firestorm wheels, there were also fire gourds, fire seals, fire swords, fire god shields, fire bows, and other magic treasures. All of them were Fire God Zhurong's magic treasures. It was said that there was a very powerful cultivator in the heavenly realm called the Heavenly Grandmaster, who was the guardian god of Taoism. This existence's nickname was Neza. It was said that his father was the supreme commander of the heavenly army in the heavenly realm. Of course, this Heavenly Grandmaster Neza was also a very powerful existence. He had many supreme treasures, such as the firestorm wheels, red sky silk, golden steel ring, and other treasures. These treasures all had great origins. Among them, the firestorm wheels was a supreme treasure passed down by Fire God Zhurong. Lin Feng didn't know if Fire God Zhurong's supreme treasure would appear here. If it did, it would be very heaven-defying. Of course, other than Fire God Zhurong's supreme treasure, if there was Fire God Zhurong's great Tao inheritance, some pills, or natural treasures, it would also be a great opportunity. The items left behind by Fire God Zhurong were definitely extraordinary. Crack! Crack! The Tao field was cracking more and more. Dense cracks had appeared all over the place. There was a rumbling sound. A loud explosion shook the heavens. Smoke and dust rose everywhere. The entire dojo had collapsed. Seeing this scene, many people couldn't help but exclaim. Since the dojo had collapsed, did that mean that some heaven-defying opportunities were about to appear? There seems to be more space below, a cultivator said. Whoosh whoosh whoosh. There were already people who couldn't wait any longer and rushed toward the dojo. Lin Feng also soared into the sky and rushed into the dojo. The fastest ones were naturally Kongming and Murong Qianmo. Previously, they were fighting above the dojo. Now that the dojo had collapsed, they were the first to enter it. What a huge underground palace! Lin Feng couldn't help but exclaim after entering the depths of the training hall. What appeared in front of them was an extremely huge underground palace. This underground palace was very quiet. It was unknown how many people had never visited this place. Everyone landed on a square in the underground palace. Some cultivators soared into the sky, wanting to fly above the underground palace. However, those cultivators were met with calamity, and their bodies exploded. This underground palace was a space where flying was prohibited. If someone insisted on flying here, they would most likely meet with calamity, and die a horrible death. The fate of the cultivator from before was a lesson to be learned. The square in the underground palace was connected to many streets. Those streets led to unknown places. On both sides of the streets were courtyards, and in the courtyards were all kinds of palaces. Many people chose a direction and quickly flew there. Then, they searched for opportunities in the underground palace. Lin Feng also chose a direction and walked in search of opportunities. Fire god Zhurong controlled the fire god's power and was one of the most ancient existences. This existence was full of myths and legends. Now that he had come to the palace left behind by this existence, Lin Feng thought of many things. He hoped to gain something from this place. Boom! A great battle broke out in one of the palaces. There was an ancient war spear that penetrated the wall. The war spear was too extraordinary. The void around the war spear was distorted. From this, one could see how terrifying this treasure was. Several peerless experts were fighting each other. They were fighting for the ownership of the war spear. More and more cultivators were pouring into this underground palace. This place was bound to become even more chaotic. Not long after, Lin Feng discovered another great battle. It was also fighting for a treasure. This time, it was a jade ray. The jade ray was very terrifying. It vibrated with destructive power. With a gentle sweep, the void collapsed. Lin Feng thought of the mysterious Lady of the Nine Heavens. This woman's treasure seemed to be a jade ray. Of course, this jade ray was not passed down by the mysterious Lady of the Nine Heavens. Even if it was not the mysterious Lady of the Nine Heavens treasure, it was still extremely terrifying. Many cultivators' eyes turned red. All of them wanted to snatch this treasure. The cultivators who entered this place were all top experts. It was not easy to determine the winner. Let's go and take a look. An old monk died in front of the palace. A cultivator shouted. Those cultivators had received the voice transmission of their companions. Many people were alarmed and rushed forward. Lin Feng followed behind those cultivators and arrived in front of the palace. The door of the palace was tightly shut. There were stone nails nailed to the door of the palace. An old monk's head, limbs, and torso had all been cut off and nailed to the door. Even though he had been dead for a long time, the old monk's corpse still emitted a faint holy light. This old monk was definitely an eminent monk when he was alive. Who are these people? How could they be so cruel? They dismembered this old monk and nailed him here. What kind of grudge did they have? What kind of grudge? A cultivator said with a serious expression. The rule of the world of cultivators was that one should not humiliate the corpse. Therefore, it was rare to see a corpse being humiliated. However, this old monk's corpse was humiliated and dismembered. This was the greatest humiliation to a corpse. Most importantly, the owner of the corpse that had been humiliated was an eminent monk. Even if people did not believe in Buddhism, they would still respect the history of Buddhism and would not blaspheme Buddhism. Therefore, many people were very respectful to Buddhist monks. Humiliating the corpse of a Buddhist monk was an extremely rare occurrence in history. Lin Feng could not help but frown. He did not know who did it. How could they humiliate a dead eminent monk like this? This was too much. Amitabha, good. 3 monks walked over from afar. They had their palms together and looked sorrowful. Someone recognized them. These 3 people were not simple. Chapter 2705. The Great Thunderclap Temple of the Buddhist realm was a place filled with countless legends. It had the most powerful orthodoxy and the most mysterious experts. The ancient Buddhas of the Buddhist realm were shrouded in a mysterious veil. The Great Thunderclap Temple of the Buddhist realm was the place where the ancient Buddhas cultivated. The 3 monks who walked out of the Great Thunderclap Temple of the Buddhist realm were very young. Each monk emitted waves of powerful fluctuations. The cultivation of these monks was stronger than the previous one. They're so young, but they're already comparable to an eminent monk, someone said. He was very wary of the 3 monks of the Buddhist realm. The monks of the Buddhist realm were very terrifying. Not only were their cultivations powerful, but they also had many shocking methods. The most terrifying were the methods of Buddhism to bewitch people. There was no need to say more about the greatness of Buddhism. But to be honest, the bewitching methods of Buddhism actually played an extremely important role in the development of Buddhism. Buddhism had always been able to use various methods. It made the world believe in Buddhism. Therefore, there were many followers of Buddhism. Furthermore, Buddhism had mastered the great purification art. Over the long years, Buddhism had purified countless powerful living beings. And those powerful beings had become the guardian sacred beasts of Buddhism. Lin Feng had met some monks and had interacted with some of them, such as Monk Ishio. He knew about the shocking methods of these monks. Now that the three monks saw the tragic end of the eminent monk of Buddhism, they wouldn't ignore it. May the senior ascend to nirvana soon. The three monks sat cross-legged and took out a wooden fish. They knocked on the wooden fish. They chanted Buddhist scriptures. They were chanting the magnificent Dharma Sutra. This sutra could purify the souls of the dead. Of course, it was unknown if it could really purify the souls of the dead. At least, that was what Buddhism said when it spread to the outside world. After chanting the sutra, the three monks stood up. Everyone thought that the three monks would collect the old monk's corpse and bury it. Who would have thought that the three monks would just stand there calmly without any intention of moving? Then, a cultivator asked, "Masters, don't you plan to collect the old monk's corpse and bury it? The senior has already found peace. We must not disturb the senior's sleep." Shameless, shameless. Many people despise this monk. This fellow was clearly afraid that there would be danger when collecting the old monk's corpse. But now, he actually said that he shouldn't disturb the senior's sleep. Those who didn't know the details would think that this monk's filial piety was commendable. But in reality, it was extremely shameless. "I'll open the door and see what's inside." A majestic man stepped out. He was 3 meters tall and his entire body was golden. This was a member of the Gold Clan. It came from the Golden World. Their race was very special. It was said that their bones were made of gold. His physical body was abnormally strong. "I also plan to open the door and see what's going on inside." Another cultivator stepped forward. He was a very thin cultivator. There were also people who recognized his identity. This cultivator came from the lifelong realm, and his name was Gu Yunxing. He was also a powerful cultivator. "Ha ha ha, I have the same idea." It was then that the third cultivator stepped forward. This cultivator was extremely short, only about 1 meter tall, but he was not a dwarf. He was a cultivator from the goblin race. The goblins were a race that lived underground. They were short and extremely ugly. Many people were unwilling to deal with the goblins. This was because the goblins were not only greedy, but also sinister, dirty, despicable, and cunning. Therefore, many people hated the goblins. However, the goblins never cared about what others thought. This race was very self-centered. Although they had all kinds of shortcomings and were extremely annoying, they lived very freely. The cultivators from the Golden World, the Lifelong Realm, and the Goblin race walked toward the door at the same time. There was naturally a reason why they chose to make the first move. Once the door opened, they would definitely enter first. If there were any treasures, they would be the first to get those treasures. Lin Feng stood in the distance and watched the 3 cultivators walk toward the door. He didn't go near. This was because he felt that this place gave him an inexplicable sense of danger. That old monk died so miserably. His body was dismembered and nailed to the door. Was it really just a vendetta? Was there any other deeper reason? Facing such a situation, he had to be careful. At this time, there was nothing wrong with being careful. The 3 cultivators arrived in front of the door. The 3 of them tried to push the door open. However, the door was extremely heavy and difficult to push open. One after another, 7 or 8 people couldn't resist the desire in their hearts. They all walked toward the door. They also tried to push the door open. However, the door was really too heavy. It wasn't easy to push the door open. Then, a few more people walked out. A total of 14 cultivators worked together. Rumble. The door began to shake violently as if it was about to be pushed open. Seeing this, everyone's eyes suddenly lit up. Some cultivators were eager to enter the palace after the door was pushed open. Kacha, kacha, violent friction sounds could be heard. At this time, the door was pushed open by a gap. Huff! However, something terrifying happened. At this time, a powerful suction force surged out from the door. That powerful suction force directly enveloped everyone at the door. Not good, retreat! Those cultivators realized that something was wrong and screamed in horror. They wanted to quickly retreat, but it was too late. Their bodies were enveloped by the terrifying suction force. Then, they quickly shrank and were sucked into the palace. The powerful suction force quickly rushed outside, wanting to devour other people. Hurry up and run! Some cultivators were so scared that their faces turned pale. They shouted loudly and quickly fled into the distance. Swoosh! Lin Feng used the octagonal world and rushed into the distance. He was relatively far from the door, so he wasn't affected. However, those who were closer to the door didn't manage to escape. They were also caught by the suction force from the door and sucked into the palace inside the door. Lin Feng and the others, who had avoided this disaster, stood in the distance and looked at the palace. The door of the palace closed again. Everything became quiet. If they hadn't seen it with their own eyes, they wouldn't have believed what just happened. How terrifying! What's in the palace? Lin Feng couldn't help but mutter to himself. Finally, he left the palace. When night fell, Lin Feng suddenly felt a cold aura surging out from his dantian. Chapter 2706. When Lin Feng's divine sense invaded his dantian, he immediately revealed an extremely shocked expression. This was because there was an additional item in his dantian. This item was none other than the mysterious metal box. This was the mysterious iron box that he had obtained in the Starry Sky ancient city in the Starry Sky world. He didn't know whose corpse it contained. The mysterious iron box was extremely terrifying and strange. Lin Feng still hadn't figured out the origin of the mysterious iron box. What puzzled Lin Feng was why the mysterious iron box had appeared in his dantian. Shouldn't the mysterious iron box be outside in the real world now? One had to know that only souls could descend into this space. Other things couldn't descend into this space at all. However, the mysterious iron box had appeared in this space. It was really too unbelievable. Lin Feng felt that something must have happened, and it should have something to do with the mysterious iron box. Otherwise, the mysterious iron box would never have appeared in his dantian so strangely. The origin of this mysterious iron box is really making me more and more curious. What does it mean for it to appear in this world on its own accord? Lin Feng couldn't help but mutter to himself. His heart was filled with shock and emotion. At the same time, he was also worried. He didn't know if the mysterious iron box was a blessing or a curse for such a strange thing to appear. In the distance, there were cultivators looking over. There were a total of 7 cultivators with extraordinary strength. After seeing Lin Feng, they quickly left. Lin Feng saw the cultivators in a hurry, but he didn't think much about it. Instead, he continued to walk toward the depths of the heavenly immortal path. In the next few days, a piece of news suddenly spread in the heavenly immortal path. It was said that a cultivator had killed Su Xiansha and the others from the Yin-Yang world, and Yetian and the others from the Dark world, Zhao Qing and the others from the Undying world, and Helyun Dao and the others from the Heaven realm. Now, this cultivator was training in the heavenly immortal path. Su Xiansha and Yetian, Zhao Qing, and the others had all died outside. Many cultivators on the heavenly immortal path didn't know much about their deaths. However, Helyun Dao was killed on the path, so the cultivators there were quite clear about this matter and heard a lot of rumors. Now that they suddenly heard that the one who killed these experts was actually a single person, they were extremely shocked. Someone had purposely leaked the news. The 12 horsemen of the Dark World are trying to find a way to enter the heavenly immortal path. Several experts from the Yin-Yang world have already entered the heavenly immortal path. Several top experts from the Zhao clan of the Undying world have also entered the heavenly immortal path. The experts from the Hellion clan of the Heaven Realm have also come out from the depths of the heavenly immortal path, preparing to kill this person. News continued to spread, stirring up great waves. It seemed that these top forces were determined to kill that cultivator. Lin Feng's portrait was circulated. Some of the major powers wanted everyone to help find Lin Feng's whereabouts. After seeing Lin Feng's portrait, many people were shocked. I've seen this kid before. He looks harmless to humans and animals. I didn't expect him to be so decisive. I've also seen this kid and talked with him for a long time. I really didn't expect him to kill so many experts. This kid doesn't seem like a vicious person. Can't you see it? It's obvious that those cultivators from the major powers wanted to kill that kid and steal his treasures, but they kicked an iron plate and were killed by that kid instead. Hee, they deserved it. Who told these major powers to always act so high and mighty? It's not an exaggeration to say that they don't care about human lives. Now that the top experts of these major powers are about to take action, I'm afraid that kid will definitely die. Not necessarily. Hurry up and leave the heavenly immortal path, or leave this mysterious space and return to the real world. No one can do anything to him. Many people were talking about this matter. Lin Feng didn't know that his portrait had been circulated. He also didn't know that he had become the focus of the heavenly immortal path. Now, he had entered a pitch-black forest. This forest was connected to the heavenly immortal path, and it emitted a gloomy and cold aura. In the black forest, one could see some powerful vicious beasts everywhere. This was an extremely dangerous place. Some of the vicious beasts, even Lin Feng felt a sense of fear. The reason Lin Feng entered this black forest was because of the mysterious iron box's guidance. On the night of the mysterious iron box's appearance, when Lin Feng was resting, the mysterious iron box emitted waves of fluctuations. It guided Lin Feng into the depths of the heavenly immortal path. Not long after, Lin Feng saw a black forest appear. This black forest was the place where the mysterious iron box had led Lin Feng to. Where is the black iron box leading me? Lin Feng couldn't help but guess the black iron box's intentions. He carefully passed through the black forest. Then, Lin Feng saw the scene in front of him. It was a densely packed stone forest. At a glance, one couldn't see the end of it. It had already formed a sea of trees. The huge stone forest looked like it had returned to the old Stone Age. Lin Feng passed through the stone forest. The soil here was special. It was made of a very ancient rock that was abnormally sturdy. He took out the stone sword and slashed at a stone peak. This stone peak was 200 meters tall. It was very straight, like an inverted awl. Clang! The stone sword slashed at the stone peak, producing a clanging sound. Lin Feng was sent flying. The stone sword didn't destroy the stone peak. This made Lin Feng extremely shocked. Wasn't this stone peak a little too sturdy? Such a huge stone forest, and there are stone peaks everywhere. I wonder if there are powerful stone tools in some of these stone peaks. Or even creatures of the stone tribe? Lin Feng couldn't help but think. He felt that there might be such a possibility. He had a feeling that this huge stone forest was very likely preserved from the Stone Age, or even the era before it. Boom! At this moment, waves of shocking fluctuations were transmitted from the depths of the stone forest. The fluctuations were earth-shattering, shaking all directions. What's going on? Lin Feng was shocked. He quickly rushed over and saw a huge stone peak. That stone peak was about 3,000 meters tall. Now, the stone peak was gradually cracking. The terrifying fluctuations were emitted from the stone peak. Seeing this scene, Lin Feng was very shocked. This stone peak was extremely sturdy. Now that the stone peak was cracking, he didn't know what would happen. Chapter 2707. Rumble! 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 The stone peak was cracking and the ground was shaking. Lin Feng didn't get too close and stayed far away from the area, because he sensed a dangerous aura. Crack, crack, crack! The cracks on the stone peak were getting worse. Moo! A deep sound resounded through the clouds. Finally, a huge beast rushed out of the stone peak. It was a stone elephant that was close to 100 meters tall and 150 meters long. Lin Feng was shocked when he saw the stone elephant. He had seen elephants before, such as some ancient elephants and mammoths. They were all very tyrannical existences among the ferocious beasts. It was Lin Feng's first time seeing one. The stone elephant was terrifying. Its aura was monstrous. Even from far away, Lin Feng could feel the terrifying aura emanating from it. The stone tribe is already very powerful. This stone elephant is so huge, so it should be even more terrifying, right? Lin Feng couldn't help but mumble to himself. Kacha kacha! At that moment, another mountain peak nearby began to crack. Roar! Then, an earth-shaking roar was heard. A huge golden stone ape walked out of the stone peak. A stone ape, and a golden one at that. Could it be the same tribe as the sacred battle ape? Lin Feng thought in shock. His heart was filled with shock. Moo roar! The stone elephant and stone ape both roared and charged at each other. The stone elephant charged at the stone ape. The stone ape waved its huge claws and smashed at the stone ape. Bam! The two terrifying stone tribe creatures collided. The fight was extremely intense, and it was a fight with their lives on the line. Lin Feng was puzzled. He didn't know why the two stone tribe creatures were fighting each other the moment they were born. Was it because of the previous grudge? It was difficult for the two stone tribe creatures to defeat each other. Their cultivation was similar, so they were evenly matched. Roar! At this moment, an earth-shaking roar rang out from the depths of the stone forest. The pressure contained in the roar made Lin Feng feel suffocated. At that moment, Lin Feng had the impression that he was an ordinary person facing a god. Lin Feng had never felt so weak before. But now, he felt that he was so small and weak. What kind of existence is this? Lin Feng's heart was filled with shock. The existence in the depths of the stone forest was definitely a terrifying existence. He felt that it was even stronger than the two-winged demonic serpent. It was hard to imagine what kind of creature it was. Hearing the roar, the stone elephant and stone ape stopped fighting and rushed into the depths of the stone forest. Screech! A sharp, ear-piercing screech resounded through the sky. A stone eagle flew over from afar. With a flap of its wings, the void collapsed. This was the third stone tribe creature that Lin Feng had seen. Lin Feng couldn't help but take a deep breath. This mountain forest was too terrifying. The number of stone clan creatures it produced just a bit too many. Lin Feng felt that he shouldn't stay here any longer. This place was too dangerous. The most important thing now was to leave. There might be great opportunities hidden here, but there were so many powerful stone tribe creatures here. Those opportunities were not meant to be his. If those stone tribe creatures saw him, at that time, only death would await him. However, just as Lin Feng was about to leave, a terrifying power surged out of the mysterious box. That power was fighting for control of Lin Feng's body. The mysterious box didn't want to leave. Therefore, it wanted to take control of Lin Feng's body. Lin Feng's expression darkened. He circulated the power of his bloodline and fought with the mysterious box for control of his body. However, Lin Feng was gradually at a disadvantage. The mysterious box was terrifying. It seemed that Lin Feng's control of his body was about to be taken away by it. At this moment, Lin Feng hurriedly shouted, "Stop! Stop! I'll go in!" After hearing Lin Feng's promise, the terrifying power that surged out of the mysterious box dissipated. Lin Feng smiled bitterly and helplessly. He knew that the mysterious box was strange. Now, he finally experienced its power. He carefully walked into the depths of the stone forest. Crack, crack. Suddenly, the ground in front of him split open. A deep abyss appeared. A terrifying aura emanated from the abyss. What kind of creature is coming out now? Lin Feng wailed in his heart. He hurriedly hid behind a stone peak. Not long after, a crimson flame stone devil crawled out of the ground. The crimson flame stone devil was an extremely terrifying creature. Its entire body was covered in flames. Its body was also made of stone. However, the stone that made up its body was fire type. After crawling out of the ground, the crimson flame stone devil headed into the depths of the stone forest. It's already very heaven-defying for a great world to give birth to a few stone tribe members. But now, there are so many of them in this stone forest. Lin Feng's heart was pounding like a tidal wave. Ever since the end of the Stone Age, the birth of stone tribe members had become extremely difficult. For example, the 9 states world. Over the countless years, the number of stone tribe members that were born was extremely small. After the primordial era, there were no complete stone tribe members. That was until the birth of the Qing Emperor. But here, stone tribe members were born one after another. It was simply too shocking. But clearly, there were more shocking things to come. Because more and more stone tribe members appeared one after another. Lin Feng had seen more than 20 of them. He had never seen so many stone tribe members at once. Speaking of which, after all these years, Lin Feng had been to many places. All the stone tribe members that he had seen before were added together. There were not as many stone tribe members as there were today. What are these stone tribe members trying to do? Lin Feng muttered. Finally, Lin Feng arrived at the place where the stone tribe members were gathered. Altogether, there were about 70 to 80 stone tribe members. These stone tribe members were gathered in front of a stone peak. In front of them stood a member of the stone clan. It was a stone clan member with 3 heads. The left head was a tiger head, the right a lion head, and the middle head a dragon head. As for the 3-headed stone tribe member, its body was that of a huge python. Of course, its body was also made of stone. What kind of monster is that? Lin Feng couldn't help but wonder. The 3-headed stone tribe member should be the strongest among these stone tribe members. Chapter 2708. The 3 stone creatures were talking to a group of other stone creatures. However, Lin Feng did not understand what they were talking about. He guessed that it was the language of the stone tribe. What are they talking about? Lin Feng could not help but mumble. The expressions of the 3 stone creatures were extremely solemn. From this, it could be seen that what they were talking about was probably something extremely important. As for the stone tribe creatures, they all had solemn expressions, filled with a sense of holiness. At this moment, the 3 stone creatures turned around and kowtowed to the huge stone peak. As they kowtowed, they mumbled something. The rest of the stone tribe creatures stood behind the 3 stone tribe creatures. They followed the 3 stone tribe creatures and kowtowed towards the stone peak. Seeing this, Lin Feng was extremely shocked. He could not help but frown slightly. He felt that the 3 stone creatures and the rest of the stone creatures were performing a ritual. Of course, it also felt like a pilgrimage. What are these guys doing? What's so special about that stone peak? Lin Feng looked at the mysterious stone peak. That stone peak was the largest, reaching a height of 5,000 to 6,000 meters. It was extremely steep. It was like a battle spear stabbed into the ground. Roar! Just as the stone creatures were kowtowing, a wolf-like howl suddenly rang out. Lin Feng lowered his head and looked at it. It was a small stone wolf the size of his palm. Little thing, don't howl! Lin Feng shouted and quickly suppressed the stone wolf. The miniature stone wolf's cultivation was not high, so it was easily suppressed by Lin Feng. The stone creatures in the distance did not notice what was going on. This allowed Lin Feng to let out a sigh of relief. However, in the next moment, Lin Feng felt many cold gazes staring at him. He looked around and saw a dozen stone wolves jumping out from behind one of the stone peaks. At this moment, those stone wolves were looking at him with ferocious eyes. Holy sh*T! Lin Feng didn't even think about it, he turned around and ran away. So many stone wolves had discovered him. And a few thousand meters away, there were 70 to 80 powerful stone creatures. There was no need to even think about this battle. Of the 36 stratagems, escape is the best stratagem. Roar! More than a dozen stone wolves let out a loud howl and immediately chased after Lin Feng. Not far away, the living beings of the stone tribe were also alarmed, and they all looked over. Then, a group of stone creatures chased after Lin Feng. "Damn it!" Lin Feng howled. He wasn't able to escape, blocked by a group of stone clan creatures. "Don't force me. Otherwise, I'll snap this little wolf's neck." Lin Feng looked at the surrounding stone tribe creatures and threatened them loudly. The stone tribe members looked at Lin Feng with mocking gazes. When Lin Feng saw the expressions of the stone clan's members, he had the feeling something was wrong. The stone clan's members' expressions made him feel uneasy. He didn't know why they were looking at him with such disdain. "It can't be!" Lin Feng thought of a possibility and looked at the wolf cub in his hand. The wolf cub also looked at Lin Feng. Then, the wolf cub smiled at Lin Feng. Next, the wolf cub's body trembled slightly and shook off Lin Feng's hand. Then, it clawed at Lin Feng. "Heaven patching art!" Lin Feng shouted. He wanted to use the heaven patching art to dodge the wolf cub's attack, but something terrifying happened. When he activated the heaven mending technique, it actually lost its effect. With the wolf cub as the center, a terrifying magnetic field seemed to have formed. It broke his heaven patching art. Lin Feng was shocked. This wolf cub was too scary. He had been fooled by its appearance. Only now did he know why the stone tribe members were looking at him with such mocking gazes. Those stone clan creatures were clearly laughing at him. Bang! The wolf cub slapped Lin Feng with its claw, sending Lin Feng flying. Wah! Lin Feng's blood was boiling. He almost spat out a mouthful of blood. His face was as white as paper. The wolf cub's attack was too terrifying. Lin Feng could feel that the wolf cub was just casually attacking. It didn't use its full strength at all. It was hard to imagine how terrifying the wolf cub would be if it used its full strength. Roar! Immediately, several stone tribe members pounced on Lin Feng, wanting to kill Lin Feng. "Capture him alive! We can use him as a tribute!" the 3 stone tribe members ordered. Upon receiving their orders, the stone tribe members who were attacking Lin Feng did not kill him. Instead, they suppressed Lin Feng. "Brother Wolf!" The 3 stone tribe members smiled and greeted the wolf cub. Seeing this, Lin Feng nearly fainted. Could this wolf cub be on the same level as the 3 stone tribe members? Now, it seemed like this was very possible. If they weren't on the same level, there was no need for greetings at all. The wolf cub smiled and greeted the 3 stone tribe members as well. After the stone tribe members gathered together, the ceremony continued. "This is troublesome." Lin Feng's face was dark. These stone tribe members wanted to use him as a tribute. Lin Feng did not know who they were going to be sacrificed to. But for these stone tribe members to be sacrificed to someone, it must be an unimaginably terrifying existence. Lin Feng knew that his situation was terrible. But he could not find a way to resolve this situation. "Am I really going to die here?" Lin Feng was extremely annoyed. He pulled a long face and was extremely anxious. After the stone tribe members were done with their worship, the 3 stone tribe members looked at Lin Feng and laughed sinisterly. "Kid, I have to say that your luck is extraordinarily bad. To think that you would encounter the resurrection of the stone tribe and the ceremony to sacrifice to the evil god. Soon, you will become the evil god's food." "Evil god?" Lin Feng mumbled. He did not know the identity of the evil god mentioned by the 3 stone tribe members, but it was obvious that this evil god was not a simple existence. It was also not a godly cultivator. It should be the same as the fire god Jerome. Although it considered itself a god, its cultivation was far beyond the godly realm. Lin Feng remembered that Zhao Lin Air had been able to communicate with Daimon's strength. He didn't know if Zhao Lin Air's daimon was the same daimon as the one the 3 members of the Stone Clan had mentioned. The 3 Stone Clan's members grabbed Lin Feng and flew towards the top of the mountain. "Don't be rash. Let's talk this out," Lin Feng called out. "Go talk to the evil god." The 3 Stone Tribe members sneered and flew to the peak. Lin Feng saw a huge black hole appear at the peak. Chapter 2709. Clang! Lin Feng fell heavily to the ground. He was dizzy from the fall, and his whole body was in extreme pain. His surroundings were pitch black, and he couldn't even see his own fingers. He didn't know where he was. Lin Feng activated the archaic dragon-esque elephant art. Gradually, the seal suppressing him was dissolved. He sat up from the ground and carefully observed his surroundings. He was in the belly of a huge mountain. There seemed to be nothing in the belly of the mountain. Lin Feng didn't see the evil god mentioned by the three stone creatures. Didn't they say there was an evil god here? Where is that evil god? I don't see him. Lin Feng couldn't help but mutter. As soon as he finished speaking, Lin Feng suddenly felt a cold aura behind him. He turned around and saw a mysterious cultivator shrouded in evil aura standing a meter behind him. Lin Feng's expression suddenly changed. That cultivator was probably Daimon. This person's cultivation is too terrifying. He appeared behind me, and I don't even know how he did it. He really didn't know what level this evil god was at. Lin Feng quickly retreated, putting some distance between him and the evil god. The evil god's emotionless voice sounded. Are you afraid of me? Yes. Lin Feng spoke the truth. His expression was very ugly because he didn't know what would happen later. This evil god definitely wouldn't let him go. The evil god didn't kill him now, but it didn't mean that he wouldn't kill him later. Lin Feng was very clear about this. Actually, you don't have to be afraid of me. I'm a very kind person. The evil god smiled. Lin Feng couldn't help but roll his eyes. He had seen shameless people, but he had never seen such a shameless person. The evil god killed people without batting an eyelid. He actually had the nerve to say that he was a kind person. Lin Feng finally understood the meaning of the phrase shameless people are invincible under the heavens. Of course, Lin Feng naturally wouldn't expose the evil god. There was no need for that at all. After exposing the evil god's true colors, if this fellow became angry out of humiliation, wouldn't Lin Feng be in trouble? Since Lord Evil God is so kind, why don't you let me go? Lin Feng said with a grin. He then added, Of course, before I leave, if Lord Evil God can teach me some powerful divine abilities, that would be even better. Don't worry, Lord Evil God, I will definitely make great use of the divine abilities that Lord Evil God teaches me. The evil god speechlessly looked at Lin Feng and then said, I haven't finished speaking. I used to be very kind, but now I have completely changed. Now, there is only hatred and killing intent in my heart. After the evil god finished speaking, an eerie and terrifying aura surged out of the evil god's body. That aura made Lin Feng feel like he had fallen into hell. The evil god didn't deliberately target Lin Feng. However, the aura that was inadvertently revealed was enough to make Lin Feng feel despair. Lin Feng took a deep breath and said, Did something happen that caused Lord Evil God's temperament to change? You have too many questions. A person who is about to die shouldn't ask so many questions. The evil god coldly looked at Lin Feng. Lin Feng was communicating with the mysterious box. Since the box had brought him here, he had no choice. Lin Feng felt that the mysterious box might be able to save his life. This was his only chance at survival. Thus, Lin Feng was doing his best to delay the evil god. He hoped that the evil god would take action later. The later the evil god took action, then, Lin Feng's chances of survival would be higher. Curiosity won't disappear just because I'm about to die, Lin Feng said. Ha ha! The evil god suddenly laughed. He said, You're an interesting person. I've met many people, but you're the only one I find interesting. I'm even a little reluctant to kill you, Lin Feng said. That's great. Letting someone live is better than building a 7-storied pagoda. The evil god sneered. However, I really want to eat your soul origin. That's why I'm conflicted. Thus, after some consideration, I still want to kill you. Seeing Lin Feng's calm expression, the evil god asked in astonishment. Don't you feel disappointed? Lin Feng said. Of course not. I didn't have much hope that you would let me live. Then die, the evil god said coldly. said Daimon icily. He wanted to kill Lin Feng. At that moment, Lin Feng hurriedly stopped him. Wait! The evil god said coldly. What? Do you still have something to say? Before I die, I want to ask you one more question, Lin Feng said. He looked calm, but he was actually very nervous. This was because he had tried to communicate with the mysterious box time and time again. However, he failed again and again. This caused Lin Feng's mood to sink to the bottom. It was abnormally terrible. If the mysterious box did not help him now, only death would await him. Lin Feng felt an urge to crush the mysterious box with his foot. This fellow had kidnapped him and brought him here, but after encountering danger, it did not come out and acted like a coward. This was too much of a scam. Thus, Lin Feng continued to find topics to delay the evil god. Why do you have so many questions? The evil god looked coldly at Lin Feng. However, he did not kill Lin Feng. Evidently, he agreed to let Lin Feng continue asking him questions. Lin Feng pondered for a moment before asking, Why are there so many titles in the world, such as the fire god, evil god, water god, and so on, all called gods, but their strength far surpasses that of gods? I heard that it's because these people have these titles before they become powerful. Once they become powerful, they either get used to these titles, or they like these titles, so they are unwilling to change their titles. Is that the reason? The evil god sneered. There's such an explanation? I wonder which idiot first came up with such a theory. Lin Feng asked. If it's not one of those reasons, then what is it? The evil god said coldly. Originally, when there were no immortals in the world and there were no pre-celestial beings, those powerful pre-celestial beings were called gods. Every god had a title, and that title was either a god or an emperor. For example, the title of the fire god. The first fire god was called Zhurong, the second fire god was called Li Mei, and the third fire god was called Yan Chang. The fire god was passed down from generation to generation. Not only the fire god, but also the water god, the evil god, and some other emperors, such as the great Emperor Jinwu, were all titles passed down from generation to generation. The evil god was the same. Chapter 27:10. The evil god's words were very simple and easy to understand. The evil god looked coldly at Lin Feng and said, Now that I've answered your question, you can die. Lin Feng still hadn't been able to successfully communicate with the mysterious iron box. How could he fight against the evil god at this time? He hurriedly said loudly, I still have a question. I hope Senior Evil God can answer. The evil god said coldly, I no longer have the patience to answer your question. Now you must die. I don't want to continue chatting with you. Rumble. The evil god raised his right palm and slapped towards Lin Feng. When the terrifying palm slashed through the void, there was a violent sound of friction. It was as if an ancient mountain had slashed through the void. It was impossible to imagine how terrifying the power of this palm was. Facing this palm, Lin Feng found that he couldn't avoid it at all. His heart was filled with astonishment. The evil god's attack was too terrifying. Was he really going to die at the hands of the evil god? Lin Feng was extremely unwilling. How many dangers had he experienced over the years? When had he not turned the tables? But this time, Lin Feng really didn't know how to fight against the evil god. Because since this evil god had inherited the title of evil god, it meant that this guy was very likely in existence before the immortal ancient times. This was because the title of god gradually disappeared after the Master of Gods created a new cultivation system. That was after the immortal ancient times. This era was an extremely important turning point. It was the immortal ancient times. Before the immortal ancient times, it was the era when sentient lifeforms ruled the heavens. The Great War between sentient lifeforms led to the fall of sentient lifeforms. Although the era of sentient lifeforms ended, the heavens fell into turmoil. Every world had its own cultivation system. Cultivation also entered an unprecedented period of decline. The rise of the Master of Gods brought the world of cultivators, which had been on the verge of decline, back onto the right path of cultivation. Why was the sovereign of the Emperor clan called the Master of Gods? Actually, this was the reason. Although the era of sentient lifeforms had ended, a new cultivation system hadn't been born. During this period, some of the newly risen powerhouses inherited the title of God. As such, the beings that ruled over the world were still these powerful gods. This ancestor of the sovereign emperor clan rose to prominence. The titled gods all submitted. Therefore, this ancestor of the sovereign imperial clan was known as the Lord of Gods. There were also some Taoist scriptures that called him the Lord of Gods. After becoming the Lord of the Gods, this ancestor of the sovereign emperor clan began to create a new cultivation system. This was something that would last for 1,000 years. This was because the Master of Gods was definitely one of the top 10 figures in this era's history. Lin Feng was the descendant of the Master of Gods. Perhaps this evil god knew Lin Feng's ancestor, the Master of Gods. Thinking up to this point, Lin Feng hurriedly shouted, "My ancestor is the Lord of Gods. For my ancestor's sake, how about letting me go?" "What? Your ancestor was the Lord of Gods?" Evil God was shocked. He stopped and began to examine Lin Feng. He couldn't believe that Lin Feng had such an extraordinary identity. But soon he sneered. "So you really are the descendant of the Lord of Gods. You have that clan's bloodline." Previously, the evil god had looked down on Lin Feng, so he hadn't carefully observed Lin Feng's situation. Given the evil god's strength, it was very easy to find out Lin Feng's real situation. He had just used a special method to investigate, and discovered Lin Feng's bloodline inheritance. Of course, Lin Feng didn't know what this special method was. The evil god hadn't revealed it, but it was definitely an extremely powerful method. Even Lin Feng hadn't grasped a method to investigate someone else's bloodline. From this, one could see how shocking the evil god's method was. When Lin Feng saw the evil god stop, he sighed and said, "You know my ancestor? He's the descendant of an old friend. Not only can you not kill him, but you should also take care of him. If you have any treasures, abilities, and so on, give them all to me. The more, the better." Evil God laughed coldly and said, "Are you daydreaming? I was actually thinking about how to torture you." Lin Feng's mouth twitched. "You won't even let off the descendant of an old friend? You're really crazy." Descendant of an old friend? The evil god sneered. Although the Master of Gods ruled over the gods back then, not all of the titled gods submitted to the Master of Gods. Hearing this, Lin Feng's expression suddenly changed. The evil god was clearly trying to tell him something. He was one of the gods who hadn't submitted to the Lord of Gods. Cough, cough. Even if my ancestor didn't submit to me, there shouldn't be any grudges between us, right? Lin Feng laughed dryly. The grudge is huge. The evil god said coldly. In the era of titled gods, every cultivator fought hard to become a titled god. This was because every titled god could only be inherited by one cultivator. Any cultivator who could inherit a titled god's title was a high and mighty figure who looked down on the common people. However, your ancestor actually abolished the titled god realm and divided it into the middle stages of cultivation. This greatly reduced the status of titled gods in the hearts of cultivators. The status of titled gods like us wasn't as high as before, and the cultivators of the world no longer had to risk their lives to become titled gods. Because of this, many people unloaded the burdens in their hearts and got rid of their inner demons. More and more cultivators rose to prominence, and the best of them even reached the immortal realm. Their cultivation far surpassed the cultivation of titled gods like us. This was something unimaginable in the past. If it weren't for your ancestor, how could those people have achieved such extraordinary achievements? If it weren't for your ancestor, we titled gods would still be in limitless glory. It's because of your ancestor that we titled gods no longer had our former glory. Back then, we dreamed of killing your ancestor. Since we couldn't kill your ancestor, killing you would be our revenge. Lin Feng sneered. Since those ordinary cultivators could put down the burdens in their hearts, get rid of their inner demons, and improve their cultivation by a large margin. Why can't you stronger titled gods face yourselves? So many titled gods have pledged allegiance to my ancestor and have made greater breakthroughs and achievements in their cultivation. However, you titled gods who didn't pledge allegiance to my ancestor are blaming the heavens and blaming others, pushing the blame to my ancestor. You are simply too stupid. My ancestor abolished the titled gods and established a new cultivation system, allowing the weakened world of cultivators to return to glory. Such a feat is something that you will never be able to achieve in your lifetime. You are destined to lick your wounds in the dark like a wounded lone wolf. You're simply a stupid and ignorant wretch. Boy, who do you think you are? How dare you humiliate me? I'll take your life. Chapter 27:11. The evil god was furious. Right now, he only wanted to slap this bastard who dared to humiliate him. That terrifying palm gave off a destructive aura as it smashed towards Lin Feng. Just as that palm was about to hit Lin Feng, at that moment, the mysterious metal box flew out of its own accord. Lin Feng had successfully established a connection with the mysterious metal box. Originally, the mysterious metal box didn't want to bother with Lin Feng, but Lin Feng threatened it. If he died, it wouldn't have a good ending when it fell into the hands of the evil god. You know my identity. When I become stronger, I might be able to help you do things that you want to do but are difficult to do. The mysterious metal box had a spirit, and it heard Lin Feng's words. Thus, it successfully established a connection with Lin Feng once more. The evil god attacked Lin Feng, which was why the mysterious metal box flew out of its own accord to block the evil god's attack. Bang! The mysterious iron box's tyrannical attack landed on the mysterious iron box. Although the power of this attack was great, the mysterious iron box's attack was extremely powerful. Although the attack was powerful, the mysterious metal box was too strange. The powerful attack of the evil god was completely devoured by the mysterious metal box. Seeing this scene, Lin Feng smiled. The mysterious metal box was too powerful. It had blocked the evil god's attack. It seemed that with the mysterious metal box, it wouldn't be easy for the evil god to kill him. What the hell is this? The evil god's expression sank as he stared coldly at the mysterious metal box. The mysterious metal box made the evil god feel a bit uneasy. But that uneasiness quickly disappeared because the evil god was extremely confident in his own cultivation. I'll have an evil art! The evil god's voice was cold as he sent palm after palm at the mysterious metal box. When he attacked, he also used a powerful divine ability. It was the all-heaven evil art. It was abnormally powerful. He continuously slapped the mysterious metal box. The mysterious metal box was sent flying. The evil god's battle prowess was truly terrifying. He was able to suppress the mysterious metal box. Suppress! The evil god's voice was cold as he stepped forward. His hands formed a series of seals. A series of hand seals turned into a blinding evil glow. The spell seals flew towards the mysterious metal box in an attempt to suppress it. At this moment, the mysterious iron box underwent some changes. Cracking sounds could be heard. The mysterious iron box started to open on its own. However, the mysterious iron box was not that easy to open. Evil God wanted to seal the mysterious iron box faster. When the runes pressed down on the mysterious iron box, the mysterious iron box finally opened a crack. The mysterious metal box contained the mysterious dismembered corpse. He didn't know whose body was placed inside. Lin Feng often felt that the mysterious iron box was terrifying. Actually, it wasn't the mysterious iron box itself that was terrifying. What was truly terrifying was the dismembered corpse inside the mysterious iron box. That was the source of the mysterious iron box's power. After the mysterious iron box was opened, a terrifying divine aura was released, which made everyone turn pale with fright. Crack! Crack! Cracking sounds could be heard as the runes that were suppressing the mysterious iron box were all shattered. Then, the mysterious iron box flew out, and gently swept towards the evil god. With a loud bang, the evil god was actually swept away by the mysterious iron box. So strong! Lin Feng couldn't help but take a deep breath. The mysterious iron box was stronger than he had imagined. Originally, he thought that the mysterious iron box being able to resist the evil god was already the best result. He didn't expect the mysterious iron box to be able to send the evil god flying. The power of the mysterious iron box was truly terrifying. Huh! The evil god looked at the mysterious iron box in disbelief. He quickly retreated and pulled away from the mysterious iron box. The evil god didn't continue to attack. Instead, he looked at the mysterious iron box with a serious expression. He had already sensed that the mysterious iron box was very scary. It seemed to contain something terrifying. The mysterious iron box also didn't continue to attack the evil god. Lin Feng guessed that it would be difficult for the mysterious iron box to truly defeat the evil god. Therefore, it didn't continue to attack. Now, the mysterious iron box only needed to intimidate the evil god. There was no need to risk its life against the evil god. What's inside? The evil god looked at Lin Feng with a gloomy expression. Something terrifying, Lin Feng said. He didn't tell the evil god exactly what it was. There was no need for him to explain. Moreover, the more mysterious the iron box was, the better. The more mysterious it was, the more intimidating it would be to the evil god. Trying to mystify things? The evil god coldly looked at Lin Feng. Think whatever you want, evil god. If I'm not wrong, you should be a cursed life form, right? Lin Feng narrowed his eyes at the evil god. The evil god's expression sank slightly. How do you know? I once saw a cursed life form that was very similar to you. They were trapped in a certain place, unable to leave for eternity until they completely lost themselves. You didn't lose yourself, but you have already lost your nature. Being trapped here for countless years has caused you to go crazy, Lin Feng said. You know too much. This seat wants to kill you more and more. The evil god licked its scarlet tongue. Its gloomy eyes stared at Lin Feng, emitting an eerie aura. But you can't kill me, Lin Feng said with a calm expression. If it wasn't for the mysterious iron box, you would have died countless times, the evil god said with a sneer. But the key is that I have the mysterious iron box, Lin Feng said with a faint smile. Leave quickly. Don't disturb this seat here, the evil god said coldly. It knew that it couldn't kill Lin Feng, so it didn't intend to continue fighting. After all, it wouldn't benefit anyone to continue fighting. After being cursed, the evil god's consciousness would gradually sink and become lost. Therefore, the evil god needed great power. He needed great power to resist the strange power of laws that caused him to sink and lose himself. He couldn't be injured. Once he was injured, his resistance would be greatly weakened. It was very likely that he would no longer be able to resist the suppression of the power of laws. At that time, there might be no hope of dispelling the curse. Lin Feng didn't leave. Instead, he looked at the evil god and asked, You were so powerful in the past. What cursed you? Curses were strange and terrifying. Be it Fire Crow, Jun Mashio of the Heavenly Master bloodline, the Coffin Carrier, the evil god, or even himself, they were all cursed. What kind of existence could control such a powerful curse? How could it curse so many experts? Were there any connections between the living beings that unleashed the various curses? Lin Feng wanted to know. The evil god's pupils shrank slightly, as if it had recalled some unbearable past. Its breathing became ragged. Chapter 27:12. Don't ask what you shouldn't ask. It won't do you any good. After a long time, the evil god finally calmed himself down and said coldly, Don't worry. Lin Feng said. Even the mighty evil god is so scared? What do you know? Do you know how your ancestor, the Lord of Gods, died? The evil god laughed strangely. Lin Feng frowned. He hadn't expected the evil god to mention his ancestor, the Lord of Gods, at a time like this. The Lord of Gods was someone from the immortal era, which had been more than 2,000 eras since then. One had to know that an era only had 3,000 eras. Even though Lin Feng already knew that the leader of gods was his ancestor, he didn't know much about what the leader of gods had gone through in his life. As for how the Lord of Gods had died, Lin Feng was even more clueless about that. You know? Lin Feng asked. The evil god laughed sinisterly. Even someone as powerful as your ancestor was capable of killing him. That's why, kid, there are many unknown existences in this world that are extremely terrifying. As for you, you're just an ant. It's best if you don't ask around. You don't have the right to know. Any powerful cultivator starts from being weak to becoming strong. Sooner or later, I will surpass my ancestors, Lin Feng said indifferently. The evil god didn't tell Lin Feng the exact cause of his ancestors' death. Lin Feng knew that the evil god was deliberately not telling him. Of course, there was another possibility. Perhaps the evil god didn't know either. The evil god had only said those words to deceive Lin Feng. It's good to be confident, but if you're too blindly confident, you'll be stupid, the evil god mocked. Buzz. At this time, the mysterious iron box suddenly emitted a violent wave of energy. Next, the box flew into the depths of the cave. Lin Feng was shocked. The mysterious box had taken the initiative to act strangely. It seemed that something was about to happen. Lin Feng knew that the mysterious box needed something in this area. It seemed that it was in the evil god's lair. What exactly had attracted the mysterious box to this place? This made Lin Feng feel very strange. The belly of the mountain was huge, and the mysterious metal box flew into the depths of the mountain. Lin Feng saw a tunnel in the depths of the mountain. The passageway was extremely deep, and no one knew where it led to. Lin Feng followed the mysterious iron box into the tunnel. It's best if you don't go to that place, Evil God sneered. He also followed behind, but did not get too close. Moreover, he was on guard. What is in the depths of the cave? Lin Feng asked. I don't seem to have the obligation to tell you this, the evil god said coldly. It wasn't easy to get information from Daimon, so Lin Feng decided to ignore Daimon for the time being. He followed behind the mysterious metal box and headed into the depths of the cave. A stone chamber appeared in the depths of the mountain. The stone room was sealed by a stone door. The mysterious iron box slammed into the stone door. Clang! 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 Sounds of violent collisions could be heard. The mysterious iron box hit the stone door again and again. After over 100 collisions, Kacha! Kacha! Cracks appeared on the stone door. How violent! Evil God muttered in the distance. He seemed very dissatisfied with the mysterious iron box's actions. The mysterious iron box naturally didn't care about Evil God's opinion. It continued to hit the stone door. What is behind the stone door? Why is it attracting the mysterious iron box like this? Lin Feng couldn't help but ponder. The thing behind the stone door was definitely extraordinary. Otherwise, it wouldn't have attracted the mysterious iron box like this. Lin Feng couldn't help but look forward to seeing what was behind the stone door. Bang! 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 The frequency of the mysterious iron box hitting the stone door increased. His strength was also getting stronger and stronger. Kacha! Kacha! The stone door was also cracking more and more. Rumbling sounds could be heard. Finally, the stone door was smashed into pieces by the mysterious iron box. Then, the mysterious iron box quickly entered the stone chamber. Lin Feng followed it into the stone chamber. Instantly, Lin Feng saw a shattered stone statue in the stone chamber. The stone statue was of a man. He looked extremely valiant. Although the stone statue was shattered and its divinity had disappeared, when Lin Feng saw the stone statue, he still had the urge to kneel on the ground and worship the mysterious man. The feeling was so strong that it shocked Lin Feng. Who was that man? Now, it was just a broken stone statue. How could it make him feel that way? It was unbelievable. Lin Feng originally wanted to ask Evil God, but when he saw Evil God's shocked expression, Lin Feng knew that it was very likely Evil God's first time here. Although Evil God had always been here, he might have sensed the extraordinariness of the stone chamber, and had never opened it. Lin Feng guessed that Evil God might know the identity of the stone statue's owner. However, after thinking about it, Lin Feng decided not to ask Evil God. Because if he asked Evil God wouldn't answer him. Blood! Lin Feng looked at the blood stains on the stone statue. The blood still hadn't dried up, as if it had just dripped on the stone statue. He didn't know whose blood it was. When the mysterious iron box appeared in the stone chamber, the blood became even more enchanting. This blood is extraordinary, Lin Feng muttered to himself. Said Lin Feng to himself. When he saw the blood, his heart started pounding faster and faster. Lin Feng couldn't help but take a deep breath. This blood was too extraordinary. Crack, crack. The mysterious iron box opened by itself. Finally, it opened a crack. Then, a powerful suction force surged out from the mysterious iron box. The blood on the stone statue flew toward the mysterious iron box. It's here for blood. Could the mysterious metal box contain? Evil God's eyes twitched violently. He seemed to have thought of something, and his expression became uncertain. Could the dismembered corpse and the blood belong to the same person? Lin Feng couldn't help but ponder. The mysterious iron box had entered such a dangerous place for the blood. It was easy for Lin Feng to connect the dots. What was the identity of the dismembered corpse in the mysterious iron box when he was alive? Lin Feng muttered to himself. He felt that the mysterious iron box was filled with too many mysteries. Lin Feng was extremely curious. However, Lin Feng had no way of finding out the secrets of the mysterious iron box. This feeling was like 100 claws scratching at his heart. After devouring the blood, the mysterious iron box closed by itself and flew toward Lin Feng. I'm leaving. Don't let those stone creatures outside make things difficult for me, Lin Feng said. Evil God gave Lin Feng a deep look and said, I'll inform them. They won't make things difficult for you. Before I leave, I'll leave you with 4 words. Which 4 words? Lin Feng looked at Evil God in confusion. Chapter 27:13. Pray for your own good fortune? What do you mean? Lin Feng looked at the Evil God. Lin Feng didn't understand why Daimon had said those words to him. Lin Feng had no idea what was going on. However, the Evil God didn't intend to explain to Lin Feng. He just smiled and looked at Lin Feng with a gaze that was asking for a beating. Lin Feng couldn't be bothered to pay attention to the Evil God. He quickly left. After arriving outside, the stone creatures looked coldly at Lin Feng. However, they didn't attack Lin Feng. Lin Feng guessed that something unknown had happened between the stone creatures and the Evil God. That was why they listened to the Evil God's orders. After leaving the stone forest, Lin Feng took a deep breath and returned to the celestial path to the heavens. The dark forest had disappeared without a trace. Lin Feng wouldn't be surprised no matter what appeared on the 2 sides of the heavenly path. Even if there was a passage to the heavenly realm, the chaotic Xianhuang realm, or the underworld, Lin Feng wouldn't be surprised. It's him. That person. A cultivator in the distance saw Lin Feng and was very surprised. During this period of time, Lin Feng's portrait had spread across the heavenly path. Many people knew that several top experts were looking for Lin Feng's whereabouts. Now that Lin Feng had appeared, everyone was very surprised. Because they couldn't find Lin Feng for a long time, many people thought that Lin Feng had left the heavenly path. Therefore, during these few days, some experts who were searching for Lin Feng also left the heavenly path to search for Lin Feng's whereabouts outside. Of course, there were also some experts left in the heavenly path to search for Lin Feng's whereabouts. Some people thought that these big factions couldn't find Lin Feng because they thought that Lin Feng had already left this mysterious space. But now, Lin Feng appeared in front of everyone. What are you looking at? Have you never seen a man as handsome as me? Lin Feng flew into the depths of the heavenly immortal path and said to a few cultivators who were looking at him. The few of them curled their lips. Someone said, "The practitioners of the yin-yang world, the dark world, the undead world, and the heaven realm are all looking for you. The immortal path to heaven and the outside world are very dangerous. Leave this space quickly. Otherwise, you will die." Lin Feng chuckled. "Running away isn't my style. Besides, why would I need to run when dealing with a bunch of small fries?" Several cultivators were dumbfounded. Lin Feng's words were simply too arrogant. Lin Feng quickly left. Along the way, many cultivators saw Lin Feng. Many people were shocked. Lin Feng had appeared. After hearing the news, those big factions would definitely come quickly to kill Lin Feng. In many people's opinion, Lin Feng was dead for sure. Lin Feng didn't care too much about these things. He had absolute confidence in himself. Now, Lin Feng had the stone sword in his hands. After taking out the stone sword, Lin Feng's battle prowess would soar dozens of times or even more. With the stone sword, Lin Feng believed that he could kill any god or Buddha that stood in his way. Even the strongest geniuses of the heaven realm would find it difficult to fight against him. Lin Feng went to some mountain ranges that had shown signs of him. He wanted to look for opportunities in the mountain ranges. He was eager to find some extremely precious heavenly treasures, such as some immortal source, earth core immortal liquid, and other heaven-defying heavenly treasures. When the time came, he might be able to use these heavenly treasures to increase his cultivation. Unfortunately, such heavenly treasures weren't easy to find. Lin Feng went to a few mountain ranges, but he couldn't find any. In fact, Lin Feng had also thought of a way to break through to the giant god realm. That was to find a heavenly fire and refine it. With the boundless energy brought by the heavenly fire, when the time came, he would definitely be able to break through. Unfortunately, Lin Feng had nowhere to look for the heavenly fire. Currently, he knew the whereabouts of two heavenly fires. One was the reincarnation immortal sex heavenly fire, the reincarnation everlasting fire. Lin Feng couldn't get his hands on this heavenly fire. That was the heavenly fire that the reincarnation immortal sect used to suppress the sect's destiny. The reincarnation immortal sutra was guarding it. Lin Feng couldn't snatch it away even if he wanted to. Although the reincarnation immortal sutra didn't reveal its strength normally, it was an immortal artifact. Lin Feng didn't know how terrifying its cultivation was. The other heavenly fire was the black flame god-devouring fire. This heavenly fire was also the one that Lin Feng had been coveting for a long time. This was the heavenly fire left behind by the heavenly demon emperor. It was ranked 8th. Now, it was controlled by the heavenly demon emperor's son. The heavenly demon emperor's son had countless fortuitous encounters, and his cultivation base had increased tremendously. Killing him and seizing the black flame god-devouring fire was as difficult as ascending to the heavens. Furthermore, the heavenly demon emperor's son was accompanied by a terrifying golden crow of the three races. That golden crow of the three races should be the Tao protector of the heavenly demon emperor's son. With that golden crow protecting the heavenly demon emperor's son, it would be even more difficult to kill the heavenly demon emperor's son. Therefore, the plan of using the heavenly fire to break through to the giant god realm was extremely difficult to achieve. There were countless fortuitous encounters in the immortal path to heaven. If he could find some heaven-defying treasures in the immortal path to heaven, the effects might not be as good as the heavenly fire. But at the very least, it could play an important role. At that time, he might be able to make use of those heaven-defying treasures to break through to the giant god realm. But the key was that Lin Feng couldn't find any of those heaven-defying treasures even after searching for a long time. These treasures weren't something that could be found just because one wanted to. They required luck. Without luck, it was impossible to find such treasures. Boom! A terrifying chi filled the air. A man came out of the celestial path and entered the mountain where Lin Feng was. Yin-Yang World! Qin Muyu! Someone recognized the identity of the newcomer and immediately exclaimed in surprise. Qin Muyu was one of the top geniuses in the Yin-Yang world. His strength could be described as unfathomable. During this period of time, he had been searching for Lin Feng's whereabouts, hoping to kill Lin Feng. And now, he had finally found Lin Feng. "Where are you? Come out and accept your death!" Qin Miu shouted coldly when he arrived at the mountain range. "That kid is indeed here. I saw him not long ago. I wonder where he is hiding now," a cultivator said. He had seen Lin Feng appear here before. "You don't dare to come out? Looks like you're scared out of your wits. But do you think you can escape by hiding? That's just wishful thinking." Qin Miu's voice was extremely cold, and his tone was extremely arrogant. He didn't put Lin Feng in his eyes at all. "Found him. He's there." Just then, someone shouted from afar. Everyone quickly flew over. Chapter 27:14. "Damn, he's really the best of the best. He's the weirdest of weirdos. What kind of situation is this? Why is this guy eating barbecue so leisurely?" Many cultivators were floating in the air. They were all staring at Lin Feng with their mouths agape. Lin Feng started a bonfire beside a pool. Then, he killed a ferocious beast. Above the bonfire was a piece of golden barbecue meat that emitted a tempting fragrance. Lin Feng ate as if there was no one around. The corner of Qin Miu's mouth twitched violently. He was provoking Lin Feng just now, hoping to force Lin Feng out. However, he did not expect that Lin Feng did not even flinch at him. Instead, he was barbecuing meat here. This made Qin Miu go crazy with hatred. This was because Qin Miu felt that Lin Feng was looking down on him. For a genius like Qin Miu, what he cared about the most was his reputation. Everyone lived for their reputation. Buddha fought for an incense stick. Many people cared about their reputation. It could cause blood to stain 5 steps. Qin Miu was an expert with the sword. He drew his sword and slashed at Lin Feng. Swoosh! A dazzling sword chi condensed and slashed at Lin Feng. The sword chi tore through the void, emitting an aura that was extremely shocking. The powerful attack pierced through the void. It instantly arrived in front of Lin Feng and slashed at Lin Feng. "You're disturbing me from enjoying my delicacies. How despicable!" Lin Feng flicked his finger and shattered the sword chi. Then, he said in a dissatisfied tone, "What the hell is this guy thinking?" Many people could not help but roll their eyes. They really wanted to pry open Lin Feng's head to see what Lin Feng was thinking. Lin Feng was still so calm when a great enemy like Qin Miu had arrived. It was as if he did not care about this matter at all. After all, this was Qin Miu, an existence with shocking strength. Could it be that this guy had not heard of Qin Miu's reputation? Many cultivators could not help but mutter in their hearts. They felt that it might be possible. If he had heard of Qin Miu, he would not be so calm. Therefore, a cultivator whispered to Lin Feng, "Brother, that person is Qin Miu." "I know. Hasn't this guy been looking for me? He seems to be someone from the Yin-Yang Great World, right?" said Lin Feng indifferently. He looked like a cloud in the wind. Qin Miu looked glum. His eyes were filled with murder. Lin Feng had already infuriated him. The killing intent in his heart surged like a sea. "You reckless fool! Today, I will chop off your head. I will avenge Su Xiansha and the others," Qin Miu said in his voice. "What is your relationship with Su Xiansha and the others?" Lin Feng asked. "They both came from the same great world," Qin Miu said with an indifferent expression. Lin Feng could not help but roll his eyes speechlessly. He sneered and said, "You are really arrogant. Since this has nothing to do with you, get lost quickly and you can still keep your life. If you continue to jump around in front of me, I will let you accompany Su Xiansha." Yin-Yang sword technique. Qin Miu sneered and charged towards Lin Feng. Obviously, he was using his actions to answer Lin Feng's question. Lin Feng had a personal feud with Su Xiansha and the others. Therefore, life and death were up to fate. Qin Miu had nothing to do with Su Xiansha and the others, but he had come to kill Lin Feng. Could it be that he wanted to avenge Su Xiansha and the others, whom he did not know. How was that possible? Lin Feng guessed that there were only two reasons why Qin Mu wanted to kill him. The first reason was that Qin Mu wanted to establish his position among the cultivators of the Yin-Yang Great World by killing him. The second reason was that Qin Mu heard that he had many powerful magic treasures or treasures of heaven and earth. He wanted to kill him and take his treasures. Everyone in the world was after benefits. Everything happened for a reason. It made people take a huge risk to do something without any benefits. Who would do such a thing? No one in this world would be stupid enough to do such a thing. Qin Mu's yin-yang sword technique was very powerful. Sword chi shot out. The dense sword chi slashed towards Lin Feng. A light flashed in Lin Feng's right hand, and a black war spear appeared in his hand. He waved the war spear and swept it towards the sword chi. Clang, 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 a series of violent collisions were heard. The sword chi was directly shattered by Lin Feng. Yin and Yang of heaven and earth, divided into two. Yin and Yang are two extremes, and the cycle is endless. Qin Mu's voice was cold. He held his sword and charged towards Lin Feng. His body actually split into two. The other Qin Mu looked exactly the same as the original Qin Mu. The two Qin Mu's kept moving. It was so dazzling that it was difficult to tell which one was the real Qin Mu. Yin sword breaking moon. Yang sword cutting heaven and earth. Suddenly, the two Qin Mu attacked at the same time. The Qin Mu on the left slashed out with his sword, and a black moon appeared. The Qin Mu on the right slashed out with his sword, and a scorching sun appeared. Black moon and scorching sun. It formed the cycle of yin and yang. The two Qin Mu leaped up and turned into a huge yin-yang diagram. It charged towards Lin Feng. Sword technique combined with the great yin-yang technique? Lin Feng looked at Qin Mu in shock. Qin Mu's divine ability was very powerful, but in Lin Feng's eyes there was a flaw. Lin Feng leaped up and held the war spear with both hands. Then, he fell from the sky. He smashed towards the yin-yang diagram formed by Qin Mu. Bang! That tyrannical attack slammed into the yin-yang diagram. In an instant, Qin Mu's yin-yang diagram was beaten back to its human form by Lin Feng. The illusory Qin Mu disappeared without a trace. Qin Mu's body flew out and he coughed out a mouthful of blood. Go to hell! Lin Feng sneered. He held the war spear and strode towards Qin Mu in the void. The war spear in his hand pierced towards Qin Mu. Lin Feng's attack was too powerful. The spear pierced through the void. Qin Mu wanted to block Lin Feng's attack, but it was too late. Puff! The sound of flesh tearing could be heard. Lin Feng's spear pierced through Qin Mu's chest. Then, Lin Feng held the war spear in one hand and lifted Qin Mu into the air. His right hand shook. Bang! Qin Mu's body exploded. Qin Mu was scared out of his wits. He died on the spot. Qin Mu is dead! Oh my god, Qin Mu has such a powerful cultivation, but he died just like that. It's a one-sided battle. That guy is too terrifying. Even an expert like Qin Mu was easily killed by him. I really don't know how this guy cultivates. He's simply heaven-defying. Could he really be a cultivator from the chaotic Xianhuan world? The surrounding cultivators who were watching the battle started discussing. You're tuning into the Phoenix Knights YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.